Hello.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah. Welcome to Technical Difficulties. We're playing a new game called Fate of the Norns Ragnarok today. The only experience we have with this is I played a one-shot. That's it.
Not all of us.
No.
You specifically played
I
a one-shot.
alone played a one-shot of this game 2 years ago. Almost 3, actually, now. That is my experience with this game. Fate of the Norns Ragnarok is a Viking game that takes place in the year, I think, like 930, 935. It actually doesn't say specifically. It says set it around that range. Where Ragnarok is literally happening right now. The sun and moon have been eaten, and the Viking mythological figures are, in this game, very much real, and currently in the process of trying to recruit all of the honorable, bold, fierce fighters when they die to join either side of them for the great battle that is to come. It's snowing everywhere. Yes, Jordan.
You need to swap Marissa and Indigo on the overlay.
Thank you. I can do that.
Also, your camera's fine, and
yes, it looks like it has managed
That's
to
it.
fix itself. Let me just... And... Why isn't Marissa's moving? There we go. Fixed.
don't worry, I'll save it.
Okay.
Ever notice how little time it takes to feel like you need to add another monitor? Like you get used to having the number you have, and then you're just looking around. You're like, I could have another one.
For me, it's a matter of desk
I
space.
could have 3.
I could have
I
only
could put them up
monitors
there.
and no walls.
Yeah.
Just a world of screens. That would be nice.
You find that big screen the Mandalorian was filmed on.
Now, I want to set my little dinky desktop up inside of that bubble where they projected all of the Mandalorian effects.
I need to make sure my phone charges, because it's an app. I have an app for this game. This is what they recommended we use to manage NPCs. I have not used it at all, because I bought it about 2 minutes ago. We'll see how it goes later.
Yep.
So, there are some things we should... One thing in particular we should talk about more in this game. We brought it up last week. But this game has slaves. This game has other issues as well, but the main one that would be the most obvious and hardest to change is the fact that there are slaves in this game. There are several instances of slavery in this starting adventure that the book has in. I know that one of us, one of our characters, is going to be very anti-slavery. My question is this something... I feel that the two best options are either to not have it in the game, or to have it in the game and tackle it. But that's a thing we can talk about.
Don't really know how much tackling I feel equipped to accomplish here.
Yeah, I feel like, me personally, I'd rather not have it at all, because like us tackling it would mean like we are constantly battling like the entire society in which we are trying to set ourselves in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
we'd be like constantly picking fights we don't need to be picking.
Yes. Some examples of this, and I'm inclined to agree we can... It is removable. In fact, I have stuff prepared to remove it, but I wanted to check first. Examples in the adventure. Someone mentioned last session, funerals usually have some of your slaves will die with you and bring your stuff with them when they die to give to you. There's also a thing in the book called the Game of Braids, which is usually when a female slave is put in stockades, and then her hair braids are tied up in round thing. And then the game is to throw axes at her braids and try not to hit her face and kill her, but if you do, then oh well.
What? Let's not do the throwing axe at.
Let's not do the
people.
braid game.
Yes. And then
I
there's
actually-
also a.
I understand that might be accurate. I'm not 100%. Let's
That's
say it is.
why I'm bringing it up.
That's a lot.
For me,
Listen.
even if it is accuracy, the difference between a role playing game and so much else is you're participating in it. You're not actually
Mhm.
observing, and so even if you can either actively be against the whole time, in which case you're on a crusade and that's what the game is, or you're a quiet participant.
Yes.
Mm.
And that's why I'm bringing it up, because I wanted to check before changing, but I was also inclined to change. There's also occasionally the blood sacrifices, and of course the people that the Vikings sacrifice are slaves, not themselves. That's a thing.
Mhm.
The slaves are themselves, but okay.
I will say, as a history major, I'm okay with cutting out this part of the history for a role-playing game. I respect the historical accuracy that this game has gone through, but I also respect our right to not play with it.
Cool. Then I
Yeah,
will have those changes.
I think that's the answer. We could leave the blood sacrifice if it's
Leave
like
the blood
if
sacrifice.
it's a dramatically appropriate moment.
We could also just have it not be a slave and still have the blood sacrifice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Just
Yeah.
someone draws the short straw and they
Mhm.
get blood sacrificed.
I have to
I
believe
think-
that any blood sacrifice participant is unwilling.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
We can
like-
just
At
state
least
that
Yeah.
much
up
and just leave
until-
it there.
Yeah,
Aw,
at
shucks,
least-
guys. I was
yeah,
hoping I wouldn't have to die, but you know what? You're
Yeah.
so nice. I'll do it.
I'm inclined to believe with that take that it's the blood for anyone, but I feel like the defining factor is at what point you become unwilling in the process. Like how in do you go before? It's like playing chicken, but the car doesn't stop. So at what point do you start feeling it?
Yeah.
Um,
I thought
I
it was just
think-
a prank. What the hell?
Yeah. so what's the line?
So, I think what we could do then is still have would it be okay if thralls and slaves still existed, but they were not ever abused out on the screen, or it was either a line where they're just not ever abused in our game, or it's a very strong veil, we never see it happen, it's never talked about. But they
think
still
the-
exist, or that they don't exist, they're
think
just
the-
peasants.
I mean,
I think peasants is the easiest answer because you can still have we could still have the scene where we get upset about a lord beating like a serving wench and like that be a whole shtick where it's now we fix this injustice or whatever. But that works just as well if the like serving person is
So-
someone who gets paid next to nothing and has to
Yeah,
eat gruel.
almost a slave, but not quite.
Yeah.
Almost.
just a lower class, like lower
Yeah.
socioeconomic structure. Like
Okay.
So the struggle is a struggle of class, is a struggle of
Mm.
yeah, they have freedom. They could leave if they wanted. It's just that they don't have enough money to get anywhere.
Yeah,
and even
Yeah.
if they it's a freezing
They
nightmare
are-
land.
hypothetically free, which is still a type of freedom that slaves do not have.
Yeah.
We replace slavery with wage slavery. That's what we do.
Okay. Are we just gonna make this the cyberpunk Viking thing now? Is this what it's gonna be?
Well, it's just dawning on me that as long as there's compensation, it's okay to do what you want to lower class individuals. Like,
I'm not
like
saying
that-
it's
that-
okay, but my point is that,
So,
my point is like, I'm still not going to be okay with that set of action. That'll still be a bad set of action, but that is a set of actions that I don't feel like needs to be removed from the context of a
900s.
medieval story,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
your 900 story. It could just be one that I'm more comfortable addressing that problem.
we're
That's
still
a problem we
probably
can face.
we're still probably not going to be playing the game of braids with servants.
Yeah.
I guess.
No,
Yeah.
we don't need to throw axes at people unless they're killing us. There's the combat rules where
I
that's where axes
misspelled
are okay,
episode.
and they have a sword too, or at least a sharp, pointy stick aimed at my face.
And even when it comes to the game of braids, it's slightly better if it's servitude, because if it's slaves, okay, we can chuck axes at your head, or you can die some other way because we feel like it.
Well,
Or where
one thing
servants,
we
at
could
least they can
completely
basically
change.
Say, yeah, no.
We could completely change
Yeah.
it to it's a volunteer, but and you bet against the person there. so the person who volunteers gets paid.
I
Like,
mean, there's
there could be a
the
wagering
card games
thing.
now where you put on a
I mean,
bulletproof vest.
could we just say they're all criminals at that point? Like
Yeah,
this is
we
what
could just
you
say
do
they're all
with your-
criminals. It's just they're in the
Mhm.
stockades because they did something bad, rather than because they
I was
are.
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
My
like,
cabbage
what,
that day, yeah.
where is the line between like prisoners of war and criminals and like slavery? Like, where is that line?
I mean, we're gonna be here a long time if we get
Yeah,
into this.
I feel
Okay,
like-
cool.
I feel like the easiest line is when you're in a stockade, you don't get an axe thrown to your head. That's the
Yeah.
line. But you're in
Excellent.
jail, you're in jail, and we don't throw
Axe
axes
throwing
at those
stockades separated.
people. Separate areas.
Perfect.
There are
Listen,
forms
we
to
don't-
sign.
we don't-
like
We don't get heavy blades going at heads until the guillotine. All right, so let's keep the
Yeah.
timeline separate.
Perfect.
Uh,
Then, is there anything
Um,
else?
Yeah.
guess we'll
Oh,
just leave that shit to
the
the
lead-in.
goals.
Yeah. The lead-in for the campaign.
Ah, yes.
Is we have a starting scenario we are going with. We are on a pre-described adventure to begin with, but the time before the beginning adventure we are in flux about. I personally think we don't need to say what happened, just that something happened that we know each other, or whatever. There
I
is a
have an
reason.
idea for a mini game we don't do now. Whenever we reference something that happened in the initial thing, we pull a random rune from a bag of all of them,
yes.
and then we just use the physical, spiritual, mental thing to inspire what the heck happened.
Just whatever
I'll
the
do-
rune's name is, because they've got like. The
Oh, yeah,
Devil,
they have
Man,
names for
Wealth,
each what-
Greed.
I'll do you one better, because like there are people that like like tarot readings. People will use Viking runes for like that kind of reading. I can look up like what that rune means, and we could like apply it to like whatever we're referencing to.
I'm fine with season 1 as random bag of dice or whatever,
Yeah.
random bag of events. I'm okay with
Uh,
as we go randomly generating season 1.
Perfect. Whenever we reference something that happened.
We will have fought dragons. It will have been epic.
Oh, yeah.
None of it
No.
will have been
See,
on screen.
As the storyteller that's along with this group, it's gonna be my job to do that shit. Like when we walk into a new town, I'm gonna have to reference what weird shit you all have done. So I'm gonna engage in this mechanic hardcore now.
So for some reason that we will get to later, you guys will be traveling from Halogaland to Islandia, for reasons yet unspecified, yet always mysteriously alluded to. And a fierce snowstorm will hit you partway through. You have by the way, you start with, apparently, a small Nor longship that you are riding on, just the four of you.
Oh,
Oops, I hit the wrong button.
Do one of us own it, or
I think it's
It's up to you. Maybe this is the first thing. How did you get it? Did you
Yes.
steal it?
yes.
yeah?
How did we
Pull the
fly
rope,
the
pull the
longboat?
Okay, cool.
I think it's a group boat. I think we all own the boat in some regard.
Let me pull a rune. I already shuffled. It is that one, which is... Here we go. L has protection, is what it says.
ELHA. Oh, did you pull up a thing?
I pulled up a rune. Oh, wait, no, I don't have a specific thing. I have a list of the shorthand of what each rune means. Just a single
Oh,
word
that's fine.
or short phrase. It doesn't...
Oh,
It's not
I
in
mean-
there.
Oh, if it's in there, then it's in there. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's the rune of protection. So I don't know.
I think we then protected someone rich and powerful, and as a
No, I think
gift,
the-
they're like, "Here, have this boat
I
instead."
think the boat is our protection. Like that when we began
like,
we
hired to
were
protect the
like
boat.
this was our front pay for the journey. Like we were sent on this thing, the thing we got for starting the trip. Like the
There's some
down
rune on it.
payment or like the
This was our
starting
half
bonus.
up front.
Yeah, this our half up front is you get a boat. This was
Okay.
our-
The boat that you go to the island with is your front payment, and then whatever
Yeah.
the other thing is your other payment.
So
Right.
I will let you guys edit this, actually. So I have you guys just write in this handout here called Season 1. Um,
It's season 1.
Our benefactor left us with this boat.
yes. What if your benefactor was killed, but you're trying to sail to their heir to now protect them or something?
We don't. The adventure does not give us a reason for going to
No.
Icelandia.
Nope. You
No?
can
Well, I
decide
mean,
for
I'm a-
yourself.
Oh.
I'm a war hero. Being a Huskarl would work.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
I'm,
We were like on our way to go protect the now head of the house.
That makes sense. Yeah, this was this. Oh, that's how we had the boat where we are the protectors. This was the big guy's boat. He died.
I have an
Now
idea
we
for
have
that.
Not our
boat.
fault.
If you
Not our fault.
want,
Not our fault.
I have an idea for that. If you want it.
Go on.
So there is. Here we go. You might have served a man known as Thorolf, who has for years been raiding and feuding the current, or the former, actually, king, Harald. They
Bluetooth?
basically. Sorry?
Harold
Bluetooth?
Bluetooth?
I don't know the name. Maybe? Perhaps. I don't know his title. I know Harald is his name, King Harald. I do not know. Could be Bluetooth.
I
He was a king,
realized that Bluetooth
historically.
is
In that
It's named after historical
Historical
Northern
guy, yeah.
European character.
and
Yeah,
he
that's what
was
the
king of
Bluetooth symbol
Denmark from
means.
958 to 986, so it's probably Harold
Yes, King
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Very likely then. Basically, they were raiding for a bit, and you could. They're actually both dead now. In short, a while ago, Thorolf passed away, and then recently, the king passed away. Though that was not a tragedy.
Yeah.
The king usually torched and killed most of his people. You could have gotten away.
So we have Thorholf's boat.
Okay.
We have a boat formerly owned by what are they? It's not Laird. That's Scotland. What are the
Carl and Jarl.
Jarl
Jarls.
Jarl Thorholm?
Yep. So he would have probably sent you to his brother, Skallagrim.
Yeah, but we get the boat.
Was banished to Iceland.
We specifically own the boat.
Yes, you have his boat.
I want to make that very clear. We own it. It's not just we own the boat.
We're getting a free boat out of it.
Yeah, it's like we spent
From
so
the
long.
elevator pitch, I think we're spending too much time on the ownership of the boat. I don't think we're going to have the boat for that long.
No,
Yeah,
we're not.
I understand that, but Willem is very invested, or not Willem, Wisem's very invested in the boat, because remember, he lives on yet a different island. If he ever wants to go home, he needs a boat.
But I
It's a
thought
boat.
you never wanted to go home. Wasn't that one
Yeah,
of
but
the...
that doesn't mean I don't want the option to go home.
He doesn't want to. That doesn't mean he never wants to think about
Yeah,
it.
it's like if I
Yeah.
don't have a boat, I definitely can't go home.
Okay. Well, you guys, that is how you got the boat. If you want to write that into season 1 in your own handout in your own words.
Yeah. So I'm assuming we all met at different points. We have different at different points in the season 1. There was the first few episodes where the raiding party is going through whatever with the guy still alive, and we all join at different parts in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
hmm
Like one of us starts with them, and then the other 3 join in the 3 successive episodes,
Mhm.
and then we become the main characters of the story. With our 5th being the Jarl, and then he dies at the end, and then we get on the boat. It's all
Yeah.
very dramatic.
Does he get Ned Stark or something?
We don't know yet. We have
Okay.
not drawn the death of
We
the
have not
Jarl
drawn the
rune.
death rune.
Fair. Oh my goodness, each one's going to be like a whole episode if we're going in TV show format.
It's like the first four character introductions, and then we have a few adventures, and then we get into the main
And then the
quest
story
of
happens
season.
after the first
Yeah.
the half season finale.
Yeah, the second half of the season is the big quest of the season.
That's like a Agents of Shield thing.
I watch a lot of TV. I got the format down pat.
Perfect. So yeah, you guys are on your boat traveling to Iceland, but a fierce and frigid snowstorm hits and forces you to find shelter on a nearby island. I have, because of course this is tradition, box text.
What?
Box
Box
text.
text.
There we go.
Oh, I thought something was gonna pop up. I was so confused.
No, I'm reading this. I don't have music. Let's just do it. You are all friends and have been seeking fame and fortune since the onset of Fimbulwinter. I think, by the way, side note, I think Fimbulwinter, I think this age of Ragnarok, actually, Fimbulwinter might be since the first age, and you double check that, is recent. Okay, so it's Fimbulwinter's been on for a while. This specific age of Ragnarok is fairly recent. I think you're fairly early into it. It says set the years between like 930, I think, or 935. It would probably be 931 or so, pretty early that. But we don't have to track specific dates. The sun and moon are no more, and with eternal night setting in, you have abandoned your former professions. You have heard of the island of Islandia far to the west that has become a beacon of hope for your people. A distant relative has sent word. Oh, apparently it does say why. Has sent word that you should come and stake your claim, as prosperity has a new face in Islandia.
Oh no, we know
We're
why.
all related.
We know why. Our claim is not on family. It's on having served
Oath?
the jarl. It's
Yeah.
a claim of oath. Is why we're going.
As
Some other
you
adventurers
set
might have
sail from Halogaland, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing any of this correctly, by the way. I preemptively apologize to everyone, just in general.
Everyone
Every
who
Scandinavian.
Your small vessel is caught in a fierce and deadly snowstorm as you set sail. Not wanting to risk capsizing in frigid waters, you steer south to an island called Atloy. You know that a well-known jarl named Bard will probably put you up for the night, and to give you some respite from the lashing icy winds. You head for the lights to the south and dock your oar at the docks. To your surprise, Bard's farmstead is decorated and prepared for festivities. Even his port hands are wearing their finest attire. Your boat is secured, and a port hand named Baldry asks you if you are here for the feast. So, I think the first thing we see is you guys, the visual introduction as you guys one by one step off of the boat. What do we see?
Yeah, who's first off the boat?
Probably. Just looking around, like about to walk down the gangplank, looking back and saying, getting a little bit of a Beowulf vibe. And striding across the gangplank, you see a 6 foot tall, not very well muscled man, but it looks like he's been through enough, can carry himself well. Shorter beard with some braids hanging off, scruffy long blonde hair. Carrying with a lyre strapped to his side.
Okay.
To clarify, how do we pronounce your name?
Runar,
Runar? Okay.
roll your R's. Runar.
I cannot.
Runar. I don't know if I'm doing this.
Gruner.
Runar.
Karuna.
Runar. Okay. Steps off the boat next.
Probably me. So, Wisem looks kind of boring, more or less. Poorly kind of burgundy-ish tunic with like a leather thing on top, like average height, not the most imposing looking figure, but just arms as thick as a rope in the shirt. Like it's the dumb anime, you can see the stupid muscles and the stupid shirt.
Are you playing a
he
himbo?
got his shirt tailored a little bit too tight just so it hugs the bicep the whole time. Like you're pretty sure. You're not 100%, but you think he definitely took that shirt in for this effect. He's not that big.
So, your character in real life would be played by the Situation from Jersey Shore? Like, is that what I'm?
Accurate.
Yeah. You got like the leather sleeveless like jacket thing on. I forget what they're called, but like the lightest amount of armor with like a heavy leather sleeveless thing.
Like a gambeson.
Yeah, I got leather gambeson. That's what it is. It's a leather gambeson, and then strapped to his back is kind of an old-looking broadsword. He just has a sword. Most of his equipment is in fact a sword. The rest is like his sleeping bag, and then he's too poor for anything else. So he has a sword, and he has his leather shirt, and he has his close-cropped beard, and I'm assuming some, because he's not from this far north, he's from a much more temperate region. He has a little leather hat with the fur on the inside, like the earmuff hat, just to handle the everything.
Yeah, fair.
Landed in a blizzard makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, I can go next there. So when you see Asdis get off the boat, she's kind of a youngish woman in around her mid-20s. She's tall and with braided hair, and at each like of the junctures of those braids, there's just a bone stuck into the crossover point. So it kind of looks like an out-of-body spinal column, which is kind of fun. She is not loaded down with any obvious weapons, but she's got a traveling backpack that seems almost as big as her on. And it's kind of neatly made out, like there's a tent rolled up and you can kind of see it, but it's packed away like she's done this a whole lot, and she holds it pretty easily along. There is a hawk sitting on the top of it, and she hardly notices the thing.
She has her big bird too, just to add to the pile. There's like the tall lady with the big backpack, and then on top of that is a bigger bird.
Yep.
And then because everyone else walked off, probably Adune's left to like tie the boat down, make sure it's not going to go anywhere.
There are dozens of dock hands here that are helping.
Yeah. We're going to see a rich person. We got valet service. They're tying it up.
Basically,
I
yeah.
want to make sure it's done the right way. Yeah, so Adune is also a big, like 6-foot dude.
Yeah, why is he the shortest at like 5'8"? He's the short.
Adune has I'll just say red hair. He's a little tanner than most of the other like Scandinavian peoples, but he has that classic like wolf cloak. He's kind of still bundled up a little bit, and he's tying down the ropes with his warhammer on one side and like a literal troll head on the other. Because I need to exterminate all the trolls.
Okay, yeah. So this, as you all step out, yeah, a man, large. He's wearing fur-coated armor. He has as is very common here, a scruffy beard and brown hair, long, at least shoulder length. Walks up to you and says, "My name is Baldry. I assume you're here for the feast."
What else would we be here for?
Of course. Come with me. My people will see to your ship. And starts leading you down the dock and towards. See a. Oh, good, more box text.
Yay!
You are escorted past the port warehouse and the smithy and into the heart of the farmstead. There, a massive banquet hall is bustling with activity as, let's change thralls to servants, make the final preparations for an imminent feast. Tents outside the hall are fastened down with extra weights and support to weather the storm. Baldy presents you to Bard, the Jarl of Atloy, who is surprised to see you. So, I have a map, not for battle, but for visuals.
But I see the hex grids of battle.
There are in fact hex grids of battle, but that is, I think, more to be for scale than actually anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, you are led all the way up here. I think I shift ping, it'll drag your screen.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
All
right, I'll drag myself up.
I like his little hex
Do not
token.
have token control.
Ah.
We do not control our own fate.
Let me guess
Well,
that.
of course not.
Do I have to go make
Fate
hex
is out of your
tokens?
hands.
I think by next time I will switch to a hex token simply so I match all of these other
That's
guys.
fair. Let me
Yeah, I
switch
will
OBS so
fix that.
other people can see this.
Mm.
Boom. We have another overlay that actually works for us. So Indigo, your character's name is Wisdom. Should be able to control your character.
I cannot.
Oh, but I made.
I can.
I'm gonna
Oh.
refresh.
I can suddenly control some
cannot.
other people's characters, but not
Was it everything
I
but
can
me?
move mine.
mine.
I'm free. I'm free. Fuck you. I'm out.
Everyone should be able to control everyone else's character because you can see each other's runes and stuff. So
I
I
can
can move me, but not.
hold on, I'm still setting you two up.
I
I won the race. I'm
have,
there first.
I have
There we go.
access to Zens
Oh.
and Indigos, but not my own. Oh,
So-
so now
There
I
we
do.
go.
Indigo, you cannot control your own?
I got it. I can now. I had to refresh.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm not gonna stand right now. I guess these are 5-foot hex cubes.
They are.
Yes.
Hexagons. These are 5-foot hexagons, so it's not weird that I'm standing right next to them because
No,
that's-
because you're not standing that close. You're not uncomfortably close.
yeah. There's a reasonable amount of there's a sword's distance between any
Exactly.
person.
Go and okay. So, Bard looks at you, surprised, and says, "You're here early. I was not expecting guests for another couple hours."
Well, we have
Welcome.
a foot race coming up the way. In case you know.
You know, that's bullshit. That was helping tie down the boat.
Well, I will not have anyone without. I will not have any guests be working to help with this. You are, in fact, my guests. So, come, bring us some chairs, bring us some wine, and some. Have some cheese curds. We have many of those. And
I'm
Is
afraid
it
that
goat's
lactose.
cheese?
No.
it probably would be goat or sheep's cheese, I would imagine.
Excellent.
Probably not cow.
No,
Definitely not
cow.
cow.
And yeah, you guys are not the only ones here, but you are some of the first to arrive via boat.
What do I know about Bard? Can I
You can absolutely make a skill check.
Can I go through my lookbook and figure out what I know about Bard?
Sure. I think there's a type of skill for this.
There is, and I have
More
it.
persona.
Or
Yeah,
persona.
that's why I'm suggesting it. I'm not gonna try to do something I can't do well with the first skill check. I want to succeed.
There we go. Basic information, success reveals more information. Awesome. So, let us do our first thing in the game. So let's switch over to your playmat. Everyone's is labeled. Yours is in the top right, Indigo. It should be just like the characters are set up in the.
Yep.
So, when performing a skill check, I will determine what skill can be attempted. I will also determine the difficulty. In this case, it's just going to be the more you pull, the more you know. So it's just going to be effectively modular difficulty. You obviously already know the name of him before. He is definitely. It will be fairly easy to know stuff about him. It's fairly well known, highly regarded.
Okay.
And then I will also choose what color I want to pull. In this case, it'll be mental. So you want to pull blue runes to know stuff.
Okay.
You automatically gain a success per number of per your skill rank. And you also get extra successes based on the number you pull.
And I guess the
Alright.
first question is, how does one pull runes?
So
Yes.
I draw a number of runes equal to my destiny.
Yes.
My destiny is 1.
Yes.
I draw 1.
So you weird 1. So if do you have the weird macro set up on your character?
Oh, of course I don't. No.
Okay. I will add that now.
How would but I did draw 1.
From the random pool or from your character, the ones your character has?
Ew, I might have done the wrong thing then.
That is okay. Take me.
How do I get rid of this token? There we go.
So, There we go. I will post in Discord chat. This is the first macro we want to make sure everyone has. This is called weirding. That is the wrong.
Let's get weird.
There we are.
Let's get weird with it.
That is the macro. I've set it up in Indigo's character. If you go to your character, the third tab, Attributes and Abilities, you can then click to show it in your macro bar. Or show it as a token action.
To relaunch my character
Ow.
sheet, sorry, it was a pop-out window, so it didn't update when you touched it.
Okay. So everyone should make sure you have that on your character sheet. Just exactly as is should do it. It'll automatically pull a number equal to your destiny. And
I can't see my character sheet anymore. I just see my name.
it's edited. It literally has all players set as edited and controlled.
Okay, I don't know why it didn't load. It took until
Okay.
until you clicked on it again.
Okay. Good.
All right, show in macro bar.
Okay.
Show as token action. How does token actions work?
While you have
If
the
you-
token selected, it'll show up. I usually do the
that's
macro.
Yeah, it'll be a
Work.
button on the top left when you
Yep.
select your token.
So
How I click that?
then there we go. You clicked it, and now here a rune has showed up in the in-hand section. You have a destiny of 1, so you drew.
Oh,
You always get access to your void rune as well. What type is your void rune? It depends on your specialty.
oh, it's physical.
Okay.
I'm a fighty boy. I only fight.
All right. So you do not have any successes. You just get the number based on your rank. So 1.
1.
Then you do still know something about Bard. We can.
How do I put the runes? Do I have to put the rune away?
There is another macro for that. I can show you that right now, actually. This one is called Cleanup, and I will create it for you. Post thing in chat for everyone else. Cleanup is now added to your macro. And Discord. This is the cleanup one. And so we'll talk about cleanup more later. It has a few specific effects for in battle about how to
So I
control
don't touch it. So I don't touch the cleanup button yet.
Yes, you can touch it. It'll put away your rune. Sometimes you'll have to click it a few times for it to work. Did you click it?
I'm trying to get my character sheet to work again.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't like it whenever you change anything.
I will let
It
you
gets
do
very
it then.
upset at you, and you have to mess with it to show
All
up
right,
anything.
I'll let you do it then.
Yeah.
In that case, while we're here, no, the rest are just for combat. So we'll wait till for combat for later. So what you know about Bard? Bard is the owner of this island and the surrounding islands. He has been a loyal jarl to King Harald Fairhair, is actually what he's called, for many years. And he is a very traditional Nord. He's very honorable. He's very loyal. He is very much one who honors the gods. So, if you treat him well, he should also treat you well.
Do we have any idea what this feast is actually for? Or are we
Not with the one you don't inherently know. If you want to ask, you absolutely can. But
I'm still trying to figure out how to do the macros.
they should be just copy-pastable. You don't need to change the character name stuff. The macro will automatically read it. You just need to make sure to put it... Those macros do not go in the macro bar. They have to go in your character's attributes and abilities tab.
Oh, okay.
Because they work off the character
Because
sheet.
they pull the character attributes.
Oh, so where would you...
On the
Third
character
tab
sheet.
of your character, yeah.
Okay.
Attributes and abilities, and then under that should see
Abilities add.
And
Abilities add?
abilities add a new ability. It basically is a macro, but it allows you to pull character specific
Got it.
traits.
Thank you.
So do any of you ask Bard what the feast is for, or anything like that?
Considering we've already said, yes, we're here for it, we're guests. Maybe not knowing what it's about.
All right, I'll try something. I mean, I have knowledge of locales. That might help.
Do you
I
know of the
might know.
festival that's occurring?
Yeah.
Knowledge of locales will absolutely help. You only need one success for this, mental.
Okay. So I've got to weird some runes. I think I have my destiny is what, 2?
Your destiny is 2,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay. So weird me up.
Okay, I think 2 appeared. I see a mental there.
Oh,
1 green and 1 blue appeared. And
what are these? Are those mine?
Those just appeared. So you can press cleanup after to get rid of them.
Okay.
And what type is your void rune? Is it mental?
My void rune is spiritual.
Okay, so that's 1 success plus any number that you might have due
Yep.
to in
Yep, that's 2.
2.
So
Okay.
difficulty 2 is native realm and same country.
Yep.
Or locale.
That's plenty. You realize that you have come on the night that King Eric Bloodaxe will be visiting this day. His father, King Harald, passed away recently, and newly coronated, Eric Bloodaxe is visiting all of the Jarls in his realm to get to know them and make their good graces, starting with Bard. Seems that Bard is preparing for his arrival today.
So I guess I'll just look at him and be like, so has the blood axe arrived?
No, they're not. The king is not expected for another couple hours. I'm just I think he looks. Bard, as he is talking, he looks like he is less specifically surprised, but he just sees your. He feels that it is slightly rude for you to suddenly arrive early. In this case, before he's ready. He's not trying to express that, but I think he's off put by it slightly. And he says, but that shouldn't be a problem. You can relax and come into the warmth of the tents and wait out the snowstorm. We're still setting up in the hall, and it will remain closed except for the king's own entourage. So that will be out of bounds to you now. But you will continually be supplied with food here.
I'll look back to how do you pronounce your name, Jordan?
Adun.
Adun? And just give you a nod. I'm like, this place works well for us.
I'm fine with food and drink.
Is there anywhere that we can put some gestures to the backpack?
Oh,
You can also leave it on the. I guess you
yes.
wouldn't
Put
leave
it
on the
down.
boat.
I'll have some of my my dock people. They'll move it into the warehouse until you're ready to leave.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay.
That seems reasonable.
Just to clarify, in this setting, I would know, but I don't know as a human. Is it appropriate to have my sword?
Of
Or
course,
no.
it's always appropriate to have your
All
sword.
right,
It's
on.
always
got-
appropriate to have a weapon at the dinner table.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I have my polite dinner weapon with me, and I throw my bag in the pile.
Mhm.
Yeah, I will do the same. I keep the head and the war
Keep the
hammer.
gross. No, you don't
Yeah.
get to bring the gross head to dinner.
But it's
I
a
feel like
good
that conversation
story.
has had so many times.
You can't bring the troll head to dinner. I'm tired of it looking at me.
But wisdom, it's such a good story.
No, I spend
Not
all
this
day on the
again.
boat having the troll look at me. No.
How
Help
else am
this
I going
argument
to...
again. Will you two please shut up? And I'll pull a roll of parchment out and start smacking Udin with it. Just put it down. Put it down.
Bard and Baldry have both left to manage the setup, leaving you to
Oh,
your own
God.
devices. You are not
It's-
entirely alone in the tents. In addition to the workers who are setting things up, moving casks, and setting out large bowls of cheese curds exclusively.
What is this Canadian fantasy of just cheese curds?
Now I'm imagining Vikings eating poutine.
Was just
That's what
waiting
I'm
for the boat
thinking.
from Ireland to come in for the roast.
In addition, there's you see another 3 people sitting in a corner. They were quietly watching you. Sounds too ominous for what they were doing. Too clever. They were just like passively seeing what you were up with while they sipped ale.
People watching.
Yeah.
Like what you do at any public function.
Exactly.
Like this
course.
is basically like a middle school
Yeah.
dance that we've attended, and they're just like watching to see who comes in.
They went, who invited the freak show?
It's like they don't go to this school.
They don't go here.
Exactly. And you see a man, he gets up to walk over to you. He's older, his beard and hair are gray now. He looks smiling and already a bit drunk. Walks over to you smoothly. Says, "Well, I can see you're new here. My name is Vornir. Allow me to introduce myself." He gives a bow.
Yeah.
I don't like this guy.
He chuckles and he says, "Well, I would not say that. I've been here longer than anyone else on this island, except, well, my mother, but I don't talk with her. You would be wise to know who you're talking to. Do you know much about what's going on here, but
Obviously.
come, sit with me and my friends. Why don't you?"
Can I bring my troll head?
Of course, I want to hear the story
about.
about that, by the way. I would love to hear how you came across that.
How I decapitated him with not a bladed weapon?
It's like a big. It's a pretty.
Like ragged around the
Oh.
It's smashed.
I'm thinking of making it a sport. I think I'll call it troll ball.
He laughs heartily and leads you guys over to his table where he is sitting.
I enjoy the weird island people. Like this is not an island that's big enough to be named.
It does have a name, Atloy.
It's not on the map. That's what
It's not on the map. That's correct.
All right, so let's go sit with Grendel. I mean, whatever this guy's name is.
While you guys are sitting down with him, and while you drink, he definitely asks for the story of that troll. Is that a season 1 thing, or is that a pre-season 1 thing?
Season 1. That's when I got my. That's when I got
Okay.
my.
intro episode.
It's from the intro episode.
Yeah, that was that first.
That was
that
your
first
character
adventure that we went
intro.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your character intro. It's like, you start chasing a troll on the troll chase. You're there.
Yes.
Already doing it.
All right.
Okay,
Why don't you?
I will draw a rune.
Yes.
See how the troll battle went.
1. I got
Oh, that's
the green N. What is that?
the green N stands.
Urus, which is strength.
Strength. Okay. Why don't you regale us with that tale? You don't have to say it in character. You could
Oh.
summarize it if you want to.
The intro episode is like you guys were hunting a troll, and I come in. I'm like, "Yo, I hate trolls. Let's go take out this troll." And Strength comes in. Is we all work together, but at the end, I am battling a troll in hand-to-hand combat, and at the end, I go plunk and bat his head off with the warhammer.
It's not the you decapitated it. You hit it in the neck with a hammer, and then
The rest,
gone.
the instead of the head being crushed, the neck broke.
the neck broke and the head went flying.
Perfect. Troll regeneration, everybody. Makes their physiology work in weird ways.
And then if I do the cleanup, will that get rid of this?
It should.
No, because
That one, no.
The void one is always present. Yep.
Oh, the entire time you were regaling people with that tale, I was giving you a little backup liar. Make it a little more dramatic.
That's
Oh,
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like I didn't start immediately when you started talking. Otherwise, they'd notice. It's when you start getting into it, then the music starts creeping in the background.
Then
Yep.
I'm gonna remove all of
The
these.
music comes in at the rising action. That's why.
Yeah, I don't know where all those came from, but there's a lot of them there.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they were from practice.
You know what? Probably.
I think
And
they
then
may have
just
been
now
wise
showing up?
werewolves.
Are you talking on the playmats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I was gonna try and put my runes down on here, but I didn't know how.
Oh, it's not
Yeah,
letting me
I
delete
think
them.
they're my werewolves.
I think they're actually some of the NPCs showed up there for some reason because
Oh.
the blank, like the ones that are pure blue and pure red, are some things for NPCs. It
I
also
can
won't-
move them.
I can't delete them. I can't delete
The
them.
GM can't delete them.
Oh, they're gone.
I got.
Oh,
he,
wait.
he took them into his hand. He just gathered them
Yes.
all.
Yes, I
Okay,
gathered
sure.
them all.
Quit cheating.
I don't know. I didn't try to
Oh,
delete from my hand.
know exactly. Hold on.
Are they from a different deck or something?
They are, and it didn't recall properly. So if I recall that,
Oh,
they're gone.
that,
Oh yeah.
that
you
explains
go.
everything. Okay, cool. That's fixed.
All right.
And then Marissa, you can clean up if you want to, or I see you have runes out there. Is that intentional or an accident?
Accident? I just clicked clean up, but I don't see any runes.
They just
Oh, I
disappeared.
saw them. They're
I
gone.
saw them
Yeah.
and then they went away. Okay, cool. Well, I think there is actually a whole thing in here for impressing
Don't
people with
make me do it.
stories.
Oh God. I'm not the man to do this.
So,
well, you
is
can
there-
still.
Is help a thing? Because I
surprisingly, as far
performance.
as I can tell, I'm not sure. Let me check the skill checks thing.
Is there really no help skill?
Skill checks. Helping. Post skill checks. Nope. There is no help skill.
Hmm.
That might be a thing we house rule in later. But for now, You're on your
Oh,
own.
just one skill.
Cool. What kind of
I think-
skill is that?
if we want to house
Perform.
rule it now, the way I would say it is if you
I
can.
was thinking link test.
Well, I was thinking if you have a rank in the skill is what you need to help, and no matter what your rank is, the person you're helping gets one rank in that skill. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So they get one automatic success.
I'm
okay.
okay with
Fair.
that.
I don't. I have an
Yeah.
omen skill. Could I?
Me too.
Me too.
I don't.
Yes.
Well, we're doing
Ah.
omens.
We have the magic circle, and then we have the werewolf.
Yeah.
the
Well,
magic circle and the
that
dog
might be how he got the werewolf. We all just started doing weird
chanting
shit.
around him.
Practicing things.
So looking at the different skills here, I think
perform
this
is a
might
thing,
be
but-
perform.
Okay.
I think there are others. You're not quite drinking with him yet. Yeah, this is perform.
Oh, is there a
Um,
constitution test we can do instead of a storytelling test?
No.
But I have
there's
good
drinking
news.
and
Perform is a
Uh-huh.
physical test. It says.
That's
you want red.
bad news.
Oh.
I have one physical rune.
So I get
And your void
performance.
rune is
My void rune is spiritual.
all right. Good luck. I thought
Well,
the
you have
werewolf
one
would be
rank if we're
physical.
using that rule.
I was wrong.
Okay, so I have
You do
your
have one.
rank if
You
we're
have one
using
free
that rule.
success. Yeah.
Okay. So I just click my weird button.
You do, and it'll draw runes for you.
It should draw
You're
2.
looking for a green. You're looking for a green.
You got a red. No,
Looking
he was
for
looking for a
red.
red, and he got it.
Oh,
Oh wait,
sorry.
are they on the room page?
They're right
Yeah.
here on
Yeah.
on the board.
You go to
Oh,
your board.
I see. I was on the wrong page.
I see.
Hey,
yes.
that is.
So you have two
then.
successes. That is as good as you could do with the help. And
Good for a small crowd.
in this case, for perform, that's the small crowd thing is more for if you're performing at an inn over extended
It's the
time.
table. The table is your.
But
But the
small crowd.
table is just applauding and cheering with the music.
This
Um,
this is just I don't go. Do you ever like when you do and like just
Yeah.
make sure I
The
don't do that.
4-year-old story.
Yeah.
yeah, Vornir is very happy, and he says, after you're done your story, like, that was fantastic. Well, I can see that you are all men and women of renown, or soon to be at least. Why don't I give you some advice? This is a place. This is. There's an opportunity here for a man like me is too old for anything like that. I am retired and happy with my life, but if you want, anyone who's going to be someone is here, and if you want to make friends, alliances, move up in the world, the king and queen will be here later, jarls and others. This is perhaps a good chance to get in their good graces. As newcomers, you won't be allowed into the Great Hall itself. You'll be stuck out here, unless you can make good impressions. I've seen many of these feasts. The good food's inside.
So you don't have an actual job for us. You just
Yeah,
tell us if we net. You're just inviting us to the networking event.
he's
So,
the person
there-
who is here to give advice more than actually ask you to do anything or help you. And then he says, if you have any questions about any inhabitants of this island, I'd be happy to answer them.
Who's the strongest
telling
man
me-
on this island?
His eyes widen slightly, and he says, that would be Egil. He's He's about 7.5 foot tall.
It matters. It doesn't matter.
He's he'll be here later, staying on the island with
Good.
Fulvir.
Are there festivities involved, or is it just a feast?
Oh, there's all sorts of festivities. There's going to be drinking, games of boasting, gambling, which he pauses on a bit.
Going.
He will tell you. Let me pull it up.
I'm looking for the words feats of strength.
There
These
are
the
going
words
to-
we are looking
There will
for.
be arm wrestling, feats of body
Yes!
and or mind, drinking contests. Oh, and of course the blot.
What is the blunt?
You guys know
blot is the sacrifice.
the word blot means blood sacrifice, and he
Oh,
says,
I
well,
want the arm
if you
wrestle.
see way up there, and he realizes that you're in a tent. Okay, in that direction, he points away from the docks, basically through the mead hall to the south. You guys landed on the north end of the island. There's a mountain, and on the island, it's sort of in not quite the center, more the south end of the center. Near the top of that mountain is an ash tree, protected by the Vater, spirit of the island. The Vater is someone who gives this island life, protects it. You guys know that's quite standard stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to make a sacrifice with the king to them, and only the king's most loyal and favored servants will accompany him in a small foray into there. It shouldn't take more than a couple hours there and back. There's an ash tree that still grows there by its power. So that's something. I will not be there, but maybe if you get in the king's graces or someone else's.
Have you heard of any trolls in the nearby area?
I would have slain them all had I. But no, sadly, there are no trolls here to slay.
Let's circle back to this. What's his name? Edgul?
Egil.
Eagle.
Eagle.
That's what he said, yeah.
Eagle. Yes. Does he genuinely participate in these feats of strength?
Oh, Eagle will definitely be here, says under his breath. He has a history with the king.
What
Excuse
kind
me,
of
but
history?
I need to prepare for this.
He and the king are both... It's a family feud of sorts. I don't know
like
the
the Steve Harvey kind.
The legendary Steve Harvey.
The legendary Viking Steve Harvey.
Known for his brightly colored armor. And
I think he actually says, "Well, I don't know the full story, but Eagle has, even in the short time he's been here, seems to carry some sort of grudge against the king. Not the king, of course, has not been here before, but neither has Eagle before then. He was wounded, you see, but I think he says, but not more than a few days after his friends left him to go raiding, he was already back on his feet. That's troll blood for you."
What? the Kill Bill sirens start going. Now,
I see who we killed the first episode. The eagle fella.
Are there any precautions in place for if the festivities get less friendly?
Well, I mean, the king is going to be here with his entire retinue. There are over 100 soldiers, probably. So,
do any
don't
of
get...
them have troll blood?
Are you just going to go up to the mountain and like, okay, how does this thing called avalanche work?
The thing is, I don't know what the difference is between trolls and people having troll blood.
Troll blood is you would know, very different. It is
Okay.
like your great grandfather's. Like, this is something where it's descendant. It's not like your father was a troll. It is like a great ancestor was a troll or something like that.
Okay, that's fine. I think that's enough delineation
And is
where
that-
I don't need to murder troll bloods.
is that incredibly rare, that particular genetic condition?
It is very rare, but
You have to have a character die and then use their character points from the dead character to make someone with a troll blood.
but the man you served before, Thorolf, was also troll-blooded.
Oh, well, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
We're good. Listen, they're stinking creatures, but, if you have an ancestor who's a troll, you're okay.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for the actions
Sins
of your
of your father.
ancestors.
The sins of your family do not carry forward.
No.
No, some of these people might disagree. So yeah, he describes the different things going on, and he says, Eagle will be happy to... Oh, but don't get on his temper. One of the things that he boasts about more than maybe he should is that at one time in a competition he accidentally killed a man. It was an accident, I think, but he didn't regret it.
Yeah, I keep circling back to discussions of Eagle and
Yeah.
how strong he claims to be.
Okay. Perfect.
Have a new island to conquer.
As you are drinking the wine, it's pretty clear to you that it has been watered down a bit to make it last, maybe.
Accommodate the guests.
Exactly. Within the next...
I was gonna ask. I don't know if they put it in here. It seems pretty historically accurate so far. Is there a fighting that's going to happen?
I don't have that... Not that I see. What is that?
That's like literally Viking rap battles where they roast each other.
Yeah, the
Ooh.
roasting competition.
Yeah, that's what that one is.
Okay.
Use the more.
That can totally be a thing.
Sure.
I don't think there's one specifically scheduled, but that could totally still be a thing. In fact...
That's not for me to do. That's more for our good friend Runar. He is, as they say, sick on the mic.
Just great.
I do have one song about traveling 8 miles down the road.
What about the time you had the good day where you didn't have to bust out your golden axe?
Damn, it feels good to be a Viking.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not allowed to do these things.
The first you see as you're chatting, the first ship arrives in dock. See that this one is smaller. It's definitely not It's definitely not the king's ship. It's carrying just over a dozen men. That come out of it and start walking up. I think that you see Vornir, the man you're drinking with, points out to you the man eagle among them, because it's pretty easy to see he's towering above the rest of them. And he says, "Look, there he is. Looks like he just got back in time." And the one in front, that's Olvir. The one in front is an older man. He looks older even than Vornir. He looks like he's probably he's in his like late 50s. Gray hair turning to white earlier than you might expect for his age. It's there.
Turn to Vornir and go, "You grow them big around here, but you sure don't grow them pretty, do you?"
Well, in the time of Ragnarok, then that is not exactly a priority. And I'm getting these guys have tokens. There we go. So, Olvir will be walking up. I think Vormir just because it's busy, but there's not that many guests yet. So Vornir just calls out from where he's sitting with the rest of you, says, "Olvir, welcome! Welcome back! How was the raid?" Olvir says, "I'm a tax collector, not a raider." "That's the same difference." And his friends all laugh.
Well, the tax collecting is more for the benefit of everyone. When you go raid, you just go literally take shit. It's a little bit different. In Milklograd, it was very much like this.
This first socialist Viking? What the fuck is going on? You see, they collect all the money and it goes into social programs.
Yep. I think Vormir just looks at you.
What? I was around...
And then it starts laughing like, "Good one! Good one!" Is that why your lord feuded with the king? Because he wanted to instill, create socialist programs to help people that are downtrodden?
We're not out there socialist programs in the 900s. It's like, yeah, we got the community fish box.
True.
Everyone puts in a box of fish every winter. That way, no one dies.
Well,
that's what our socialist program is. It's a big box with dried fish in it.
It was very
the dude's
controversial.
literally from Constantinople. He was one of those, he was born there as a Viking, and then he just came home when Fimbulwinter happened.
True. So yeah, these guys, this crew, I think they greet Vornir, but they don't really stop walking. They go to walk into in through the front hall, but Baldry, who looks like he was the one who greeted you when you got off the docks, and he has been primarily the one who's been managing and he's been ordering people around. The main one in charge of the logistics. He's like, "Oh, hold on there, Olvir. You're a good man, but this hall is for the king, not for anyone else." Olvir looks personally insulted at this. It's like, "But why? I'm an honored guest of Bard. You can't just do this to me." And they have a bit of a spat there. It's up to you if you guys watch or not, but if you do not, then
I'm definitely watching.
Mm-hmm.
Place bets on which of
You're just eating cheese curds like popcorn.
I keep it's trying to, as much as he's trying to pay attention to whatever's going on. I'm still staring at the towering oak of a Viking that we will need to topple at the second half of the episode.
Perfect. Yeah. He is sort of. I think he. Are you trying to hide your? Is it a glare? Would you call it a glare?
I'm sizing him up.
Okay.
If he looks, he gets the nod.
He gives you an up nod, the Viking equivalent of an up.
If he notices me looking at him, he gets the up nod. And I'll raise my glass, and I'll make some reference about the whatever the feat of strength is that'll happen later. It's like some.
He doesn't say anything, but he just smiles at that, wryly. Olvir is turned away at the door, grumbles about how he deserves better than the wine and food out here as he collapses in the chair at the table next to you. Bornir chuckles and fills a mug and passes it to him. Come on, it's not that bad. At least you're in good company. And he and his two friends, unless you joined them, laugh alone.
Yeah, I don't join them.
No.
Fraternize.
I'm just eating mutton at this point. Like,
There's no mutton out here. There is
oh,
literally
Cheese
just
curds.
cheese curds.
just cheese curds.
Not even like bread.
No.
Sadly eating cheese curds. Just,
Just wet, half-made cheese.
yeah.
And
It's a lot better than raw flesh, let me tell you.
It's not a high bar.
I
Bard
never said it was.
Bard comes out and says to sort of you all as a group, everyone out here. I'm sorry I don't have any food to offer, but any better food or drink to offer, but you will have enough for the rest of the night, and the king and his retinue are here. It's a special day, so I apologize once again, but Olvir just grumbles and looks at him, and I think Bard just like, but that's how it is. Thimblewinter has been hard.
Bro.
Yeah, and then leaves. I don't think he really says anything else. He just is called away with another thing that comes up.
He just shows up like, stop sending complaints about the food. It's all we have.
Yeah,
Move along.
effectively.
And on this special day, the king will only actually socialize with the people the king knows from forever ago. No meeting new people, no anything interesting.
Hey, Wisdom. Do you want to practice arm wrestling for the competition?
Yeah, I'll kick his ass again. I'll beat him again.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys will be doing a contested skill check. Each of you. I think it's athletics. Let me double check the skill list.
Is it?
I
I think there's a specific one for arm wrestling, isn't there?
What? I didn't know I needed an arm wrestling
Is there an arm
skill.
wrestling skill?
There might
Can I
be.
rearrange all of my skills to make sure I
Check
have arm wrestling?
check if you have it. You could.
Brawling. Oh no, there were some examples where an arm wrestling contest brawling was used to boost it.
Brawling. Okay, that does make some sense.
I think it's just you. Don't you just weird?
Yeah.
You do just weird,
you
and then
just
you just
weird.
add the number to it. This is obviously physical. I'm just double checking the actual specific adventure has some examples for arm wrestling and similar stuff. Check that right now.
Yeah, I'm not seeing like a
Arm
Yeah.
wrestling skill.
Yeah,
arm wrestle.
In this case, it says
Swim.
use brawling for arm wrestling is what this says.
I don't have that. I
It
do
wasn't-
have.
That wasn't even on my sheet to get.
Then you cannot have that.
But I'm so strong.
Then you don't need the skill in arm wrestling. You have the strength.
I also have an active ability that is out of combat. You excel at feats of strength, such as arm wrestling. When facing
God
someone in a
damn it.
physical skill challenge, you gain a +1 success.
Okay.
So while this is all going on, I'm gonna play hype man, and I'm gonna see if I get some bets going from the people that are like, milling about.
Nice.
Side bets.
So what rune is? Wait, what ability is that?
Mine is mauling for that out of combat ability. It's an active ability though.
Active abilities have out of combat effects. Yes.
Okay.
Most of them are just narrative, but this one specifically said it gives you a +1 to that, right?
Yes, it says you excel at feats of strength and such as arm wrestling. When facing someone in an opposed physical skill challenge, you gain a bonus +1 success.
See, I hate to say this, but I think you're a lot better at arm wrestling than me.
I think I only have one physical
yeah,
rune, though.
he doesn't have it. You might actually beat him still because you have physical runes. Oh wait, you only have one destiny. But what's your void rune is also physical, right?
Yep.
So that negates his one physical. That's basically guaranteeing either side.
So
Okay.
it depends on who draws a physical
Whoever draws a
rune.
physical rune. Okay, each of you weird.
I got
I
blue.
want
You got blue, okay.
weird.
Is
I
it-
got red.
Oh no!
So it's a
So-
you beat me in arm wrestling, and
It was hard though.
Yep. But luckily he is not from Wessex, so it's fine.
I'm not from Wessex. That's true.
No.
I'm very far away from Wessex.
Runar, you were taking bets before this was decided.
Mhm.
Are you trying to make money directly, or more trying to get things going? How are you doing this?
I'm more doing it to draw attention to the contest itself. Like to show off the fact that I've got two badasses with me and we should not be fucked with.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, there is a gambling skill, but that's more for the actual participation. Do you think this would be perform?
Yeah, I can perform it.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's basically just whipping up the crowd is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back over to the.
can
There.
I
So-
cheat with magic? Am I
Can
clever
I
enough?
cheat with magic? Well, see what your other abilities do
That's
too,
what
like
I'm
outside
doing.
of
It tells me
combat.
about cheat with magic. What rune is the eye?
So I weird. Sorry, what crap? What was the
I think performance is usually physical, which is red.
physical?
It said last time it was physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got a
Yep, so
physical,
that's-
and then you have rank 1 in perform?
Yep, that's
Okay.
two.
So yeah, I think that as you're doing this and as people are seeing like what's going on in that, even though one of you lost, both of you look quite tough.
I don't know how this works. The rune I drew is connected to the active ability to rip someone's spirit from their body.
um,
So when you lose, you're like, your soul is mine.
It's mine!
is that the out of combat ability?
The out of combat abilities help a willing spirit from its body.
Okay.
So if you don't want to be here anymore, I can just keep it going and you're out.
I think this would trigger this out of combat ability on me. Also, hold on, I have
Lol.
another one. I have another one. There's also this out of combat ability I have.
Oops, I exited the game.
You said your soul about to be wrecked from your body.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Oh
I
boy.
said Shao Kahn.
Yep. Okay. So you guys, I think that
I'm warming up your muscles to go take on that bastard.
Yeah, I might need to cut his head off. That might be the way we win this. All
Yes.
of my powers seem to be aimed at that half of this strength equation.
It's the fighting part.
yeah, I think Olvir actually he'll be over here.
Oh, I gotta go back to. Let me clean
Now that
up.
I'm glad you suggested this trying, I think I might need to shift my approach as how I'm the strongest man in Wessex.
You're the strongest fighter, not
I
like.
might have to be the strong. I will still. The title will still be the same of the strongest man in Wessex. But I might be the strongest man in Wessex because I don't do stupid fights. that might be.
That's
the way
your
this
subtitle. That just is the.
the strongest man in Wessex, not one to go for. I don't take any losing battles. Kind of strongest man approach as opposed to every fight every time.
Perfect. So I think seeing that both Eagle and Olvir look impressed from a distance as to what's going on, and you see Eagle himself actually stands up, all 7.5 feet of him, and says, "Come, sit with us, join us."
Which one is Eagle again? I didn't see which one he was when he walked up.
He was
It's the one that looks like
he's
the
the
oak
troll-blooded
and
one.
not the pretty side.
Or Olvir.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, can you guys not see their nameplates?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, just I can. How do I make it so you guys can see nameplates?
Got to make them visible, I think.
Oh, I have to make their character sheet visible.
No, there's like visible to players on the name plate. There's like a checkbox, I believe.
Yeah, that's on right now.
Hold on.
Range.
Turn it off and on again.
Oh, there's now a GM notes section for just tokens.
Ooh.
That's nice. Yeah, that overhaul they did added some neat features.
Okay, can you see the name for Olvir?
Yes, it is slightly
Yes.
hidden underneath him, though.
Okay,
Yes.
let me give that for equal to go, and I'll do that for everyone, so that you can recognize the who's who is kind of what this whole party's about. Go. So, you are invited to sit with them. They have, as I said, about a dozen other men with them. They're taking up a couple tables. You're invited to sit directly with Eagle and Olvir. A couple of their men move to sit at side tables to make room.
Is there anything better than cheese curds on these tables?
No, they're still at those
God damn,
tables.
I will slowly walk over eating bowl of cheese curds.
Yeah.
These cheese curds are very good. They're not quite like the ones I had when I was a boy, but it's probably different milk.
They're a bit. They get a bit dull after the 20th of them, don't they? Eagle says.
So,
They
are you
remind me
looking
of
forward
cheese
to seeing the king?
puffs.
Oh, you just say that?
Yep.
Oh.
Wait, what'd you say?
So, are you looking forward to meeting the king?
Olvir looks at Eagle, who looks at you, like, oh, yes, I'm very much looking forward to meeting him. It will be a great honor to meet with the king. And then he, like, drops. It's not clear if he was he was definitely saying it through gritted teeth, but it's not clear if he was intending it as a joke. But then he drops it, and he says, Eric is probably, actually, not probably, he would say, Eric is just like his father. He's deceitful. My uncle, what did he say, my uncle? Who was it? No, he says, my grandfather was betrayed by him. My father was betrayed by him. I'm sure that sooner or later, Bard will fall into the same fate.
So, just here for the feast, then, huh?
No, I'm here to see the king. I'm not exactly a loyal subject, he says, taking a whole handful of cheese curds, swallowing them.
Question: how obvious is spells, and if unobvious?
Spells are pretty much always very obvious.
Oh, they're very obvious. Okay. Because I'm just looking, I realize that we have out of combat effects too, so I'm looking at those. The most useful one is I can gaze at the health of the world tree and get glimpses of earth-shattering events, such as king assassinations. I was trying to use this to be like, is he gonna kill the king? Is that the plan? Trying to get magic murder vibes off of him?
Well, ask to go to the
There
washroom and
is,
see
in
if you can
fact, a
perform it well.
skill known as sense motive.
Not omens and portents? As he...
No, that's like seeing shit in like a flock of birds and being like,
I'm
oh, that
seeing
means
shit in
bad
his cheese
things will come.
curds. I'm seeing shit in his cheese curds. I'm
Seeing
staring
shit
at the
in the
bowl.
cheese-
I'm staring at his bowl of cheese curds as if it was a teacup that he has taken a sip from, and I'm trying to see the remains of the cheese curds. If there's any omens in them.
Speaking of omens, actually, as you are speaking with Olvir and Eagle, you are all interrupted briefly by lightning suddenly striking the nearby well, setting it on fire before it is being put out by the snow and servants.
Tor's balls, what was that?
Those versed in omens may know that is certainly
I can-
unusual and abnormal.
I've got some omenage.
I've got one, yeah.
So,
That was weird.
So, which of you...
Can we all try it?
You could all individually. You could... that might be the best option.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, for omens, what color do we
Um,
want? Do we want mental? Do we want
let-
spirit?
Here, I'm on the page.
Some
right
of them
now.
could be either or. Actually, I know.
Omens
spiritual
is
is-
spiritual.
Okay, then you want spiritual. Let me know what your
Can I-
number is.
Can I do it even if I don't have a +1 in it?
Yes, you don't need a plus
Yeah.
one in it. You just need that to help.
I got it. No.
Why
green
is my
is,
weird?
green is mental, sorry.
What the heck?
Green is spiritual.
green is
Green is
spiritual.
good. Green is what you want.
Uh,
Remember
I
to
will
account
figure
also
it
for your void rune. If it is spiritual, it also gives you.
My void rune is
I-
physical.
I got 2 spirituals, and my void rune is spiritual.
So that's 3. Very
You
nice.
feel it in
Okay.
your bones.
1, just the skill. That's it. I weirded nothing
Yeah.
useful.
So I got 2.
Okay.
Dune got 3.
I got 3.
My
Okay.
weird macro is broken. Hang on. Yes.
No.
No.
Runar, you know what
Oh yeah,
lightning
you're on
means.
top.
You wrote
Cannot
songs
read
about it.
property substring of undefined. What the fuck happened?
What
I
the
changed
heck?
nothing.
Okay, let me hold on. Let me fix that, or try to. Runar. Oh, your thing. It probably might be because it didn't click. I recall yours.
Eventually, when this works
Shuffle.
right, this will be great.
Yes.
Every Sunday, no matter what.
And let me double check your
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying we might be asking for it with this setup.
That should be safe too. Okay, try it one
There it
more
goes.
time.
Oh, there
Okay,
it goes.
cool.
But
so no
that's just a
spiritual.
1.
So 3 is our highest.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, 2, actually.
I
Yeah.
think Jordan got 3.
Oh, because it's difficulty +1, right? Because that's what it says on the omens. It says difficulty +1 spiritual.
That is actually
Oh,
just
right.
the base difficulty is 1. It can't be. It's weird
Yep.
how it presents
Oh, okay.
it. Go.
Yeah, so success indicates the dweller knows that the sign is an omen and not a randomly worldly
So,
occurrence.
the omen means in the near future, anger and wrath will lead to death and destruction.
Oh.
So the lightning strikes, and 2 of the 4 of us
And the cheese
stop and-
curds, clearly.
Yeah, well, Wiseman is a cheese curd based magician, and so he stares at the cheese curd. Then the wolf stares at the sky like, oh, lightning! But it's the moment of quiet, and it's like, oh, danger's afoot.
Yep.
I'm not sure what to do with this information.
Yeah,
think the
everyone
knowing-
else looks. No one else mentions a specific omen. Other
I think a
than
knowing look is the answer. Like you do the like danger eyes at all of us. Like be ready.
yeah, I think Ovir says, "Well, I'm glad that the blot is happening later, and then if that is the Vater's wrath, we can abate it." Eagle grunts an affirmative.
If I believe my understanding of metaphysical phenomena, I would make sure anyone who has very low anger tolerance sort of keep an eye on that, self-assess throughout the party. If you need to take some mental health time, go out into the snow.
Guidance counselor werewolf on duty.
Listen, man, I'm a chameleon. I just try and fit in.
So I think Eagle actually looks at you, right eye to eye, and he says, "Is that a veiled insult at me?"
I have just met you. I don't know if you are a person who would have a low anger tolerance or not. It is not a personal attack. I do not know
Anger
you
is a
personally.
gift of the gods. Someone who uses their anger well has the makings of a true Viking.
And those who use it unwell typically fall to it.
Inglorious
Anger leads to
battle.
Hate leads to pain, and pain leads to suffering.
Are you trying
It
to,
is a double-edged sword.
Is there anything specific you're trying to do?
No, because I can't.
Just because you don't have anything in it doesn't mean you can't do convince things.
Let me see. What sort of what I need to weird in order to convince this man
Blue.
to not?
To not be insulted and do something about it?
Etiquette,
was
etiquette
verbal
could be a thing
manipulation.
here. Or
Verbal
manipulation.
manipulation.
Etiquette
or
is also
spiritual.
one that could be the case.
Either way, it's mental or spiritual.
Yep.
I
Talk
have
someone into
2
doing
roots of
something they would
those.
not normally do.
You could also just try and diffuse it with a drink, using your drinking/wenching skill.
You have a wenching
I mean,
skill?
Drinking is
I
also
don't.
wenching, according to the game.
Mhm.
And gambling. It's
Uh,
basic.
Same
you know
skill.
what?
It's a general
Why do I have
cavorting
this
skill.
skill? This is like a good skill. There's a lot of uses.
What is up, Jordan?
I'm gonna do verbal manipulation. I'm like, because obviously he took offense to this. Like I'm calling him out, and I'm going, hey, if you are a type of person who would do this sort of thing, maybe just put a lid on it today. Today's not the day, my
Listen,
friend.
Listen, it is not the day for angry alpha. All right, you need
No.
to tuck that shit away.
All right. It's going to be, I think, a difficulty 3
Oh.
Is it mental or spiritual?
for him, and for this. Does it
I think I'm
say-
talking to his core person.
Oh,
like
based
who
on
he is
the
on the
runes the
inside.
victim has. So let me go look at him.
Has an essence.
I really
It's going to
appreciate
be-
that you've referred to him as the victim already. That
spiritual. So it's actually spiritual difficulty 2.
Ooh, I'm good at that. I could use my void rune for that. So I only need to pull one.
No, you don't. You have one skill. You can just do
You actually
it.
auto succeed if you have 1 in verbal manipulation.
I don't.
Oh, okay.
No.
So I just need to pull. Let me clean up. I need to pull 1 green rune, right? Is that
Yes.
how I'm understanding it?
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
There we go.
I pulled it.
So I think he says,
This is not the personal attack. It's just today's probably not the day to do it based off of. I gesture vaguely toward the well that was previously on fire due to lightning.
And he looks at you, and then he just gets up and says, "Going to go get a bigger mug."
That is probably wise.
And
What's
he,
the skill to get a bigger mug than he's gonna get?
Wenching, drinking, and wenching.
it probably
Yeah,
would be.
it definitely is.
How do I unlock this skill?
Well, you can do it.
can
no
still
matter whether
try.
You, have it or
You just
not.
need-
Okay, what do I have to draw to? I don't want like a whole theater interaction. I just want to have grabbed the largest mug before he can. So he is stuck with the second largest mug.
I think that would be a
So
competitive skill check again.
if Eagle wanders inside the mead hall, he assures that he's just going to be a sec, and Baldry watches him. And he I think goes to grab. Inside is you see the tables are almost completely set up. There are several delicious looking meats roasting over fires, ready. You begin to smell the aromas that are about to be ready. Servants are currently setting up all of the dishes, and at the head table are several large looking just huge mugs.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
assuming like clay, like worked, like style mugs.
Yes. And Eagle, once Baldry realizes Eagle is going for the head table, Baldry is like, "That's enough, Eagle. Not now. If you want something, I can bring it to you later." He doesn't quite have his hand by his sword, but he's just like, "Come on, man. The mugs aren't yours." And Eagle's...
Now is not the time for this.
Yeah.
Listen, you've had too much. You can't come behind the bar. Just
Exactly.
sit on your stool.
And Eagle's looking down at him. You can't quite tell what he's thinking, but he's still considering what he has to say. Do you want to do anything? Do you want to like slip past and grab a mug?
Yeah. So I don't have can I portent that I will get the largest mug?
You would have to sneak to get the largest mug. up to
Sneak
you.
is a physical skill.
Yes,
I
but
would be willing
don't
to
have
work
any-
with that.
I don't have any physical like skills. I have a lot of physical runes. I don't have a lot of physical skills. Man, so it's not like an easy. I can't. That's not like an easy. Just have
The
There's
biggest,
no-
not if you want the biggest mug. The biggest mug is actually on there for the king. It's like has decoration and stuff on it.
Oh no, I want just the biggest mug he could get. Like, whatever
Okay.
mug he would have access, the largest mug he would have access to, I want to bar him from accessing it.
That, I think, would still be sneaking. Off to the side table, before, not at the head table, you see some still larger mugs than you guys have out there.
Yeah, I'm assuming they don't have like a uniform set in this.
No, yes and no. They're not as uniform as we would expect due to like factory stuff.
Yeah, no, I just mean like they bought ones that are this size, and they bought ones that are this size, and I was like, oh, we'll just put them all out.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of people coming, all of the mugs.
Yep. So you go for it. We see this.
I
If
just
you
want to.
are
I would
going for it, I would love to help you out with this.
I would-
do have a sneak skill.
How are you
I would
helping?
love some help.
I've got one of the things. Back in lost. So it was the out of combat effect. Try it. Oh, there we go. You can hide your presence from prying eyes by extending and darkening existing shadows. Can I help that with somebody else?
Yeah,
Or
I think so.
in which case, sure. Things are just darker when you look your way. You are better at sneaking.
Excellent.
So what does that give me?
+1 to
Plus
the
one.
number of successes you need.
Okay.
And what you're gonna have to try and avoid is Baldry. His probably equal to his mental runes. Let me go check what that is right now.
It's 1.
Hmm.
Mental runes are 1.
Generate.
I might have a way to help in a just depends. Because the description of an out of combat effect for one of my spells is it makes someone lose their train of thought. So I'm thinking that that's not that overt that they're being manipulated with magic.
Also, on sneak here, it's usually resolved as an opposed skill check to someone's use of the perception skill.
Okay, that works for me. I have his
Alright.
action.
Let's draw.
There we go. So
I'll
that's the
think I'll accept
perception.
the help of the shadow cloud.
Yeah,
We don't-
and this isn't actually going to be Baldry. I think there are other guards around, and if you're not, Baldry is distracted by Eagle, so I think it's just the general guards, which I can pull for.
Right? This might be the best way to do it. I get.
Yeah, questions as to how out of combat spells works is interesting because it's like if I'm getting up and dancing to, cast a spell which makes someone else more sneaky, that does not.
And
I have to chant
Perception
very, very
is-
loudly for you to sneak.
perception is
Yeah.
mental, right?
Here, I'll look. I have it on the page.
It's like
Sneaking
that-
is physical.
Sneaking is
And
physical, but perception is
Perception
mental.
is mental.
Okay,
yes.
cool. Okay, I know what they got. They got a 1 in total. So I think
It's like the bagpipes of invisibility here. I have 1 physical from my void rune, and then I have
1 from
plus
help.
1 from the shadow.
So yeah, you got it.
Nice.
I get the biggest mug in the room while he's arguing with the guard about the thing. So he sits down and he's like, this fresh mug, I gotta raise my fresh mug, and it's bigger.
He like walks back holding a minorly bigger mug than he had before, and he just like raises it with a smile, and then you do that, and he sees it and just stops. He walks up to you, sits
Do you
down
need
up
to
opposite
take some
you,
mental health
and he says, I beat you in an arm wrestling match. Then we trade mugs.
Wow. You see, you don't become the strongest man in Wessex by fighting every giant who challenges you.
So what are you, a coward? Come on.
I am the strongest man from Wessex. I am no coward, but I'm not going to fight an oak. That seems like a fool's errand.
He stands up out of his chair, angry, but before he does anything, a horn rings out from outside. And as you look, it's actually not visible from where you are. So you go near the entrance where you can see another much larger ship has docked with someone blew the horn from the head of the ship, and out of it come marching over 100. In fact, you'd guess it's close to about 140 armed soldiers in formation step out onto the dock, and in front of them, leading them all, is the esteemed, in his 40s, King Eric Bloodaxe. He was
Saved by the horn again.
tall, stern looking, and you see Bard is already there down to greet him. And Baldry is just sort of literally, while the king is still there down by the docks, they're talking. Baldry is like doing last minute preparations to make sure everything is good. Just as the king arrives, the king is led straight in through the front doors into the great mead hall. He is talking with Bard the entire time. It does not seem like he specifically is ignoring you so much as just he does not notice you. Yeah. Eagle turns and watches him, and you can see there's just this steely seething in him, but he holds his tongue and just watches.
I have a weird out of combat effect that I don't think. Create a sense of unease in another. I would like to use that on Eagle at all. I'm going to try and stop this.
Oh, I was gonna make it worse. I'm gonna do a very English bow to the king as he comes in, just like the at the waist, hand on sword, so you can just like the very
Oh
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
not appropriate for this region, but showing deference to a lord walking in the room.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm standing next to him and know that he does not like him.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking to create a sense of unease, as in, hey, look, there's stuff that's going on. You probably aren't able to deal with this, and then you're actively saying, oh, I guess you're playing into that in some ways. In this guy has a lot of respect. Maybe you shouldn't do anything to him.
Oh, I'm more playing to the fact you can't beat me up in front of the king.
Teacher's here. You can't fight me anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. I think because neither of those are skill checks. I think you just do that.
Yeah, it's more that while he is scowling, I am showing kind of like tongue-in-cheek reverence to Eric Bloodaxe.
Yeah.
Position.
And he looks at you, and you see Eagle. When Eagle speaks, it is slightly different tone than before, and oddly enough, more. Well, what he says, like, that king is nothing but a liar,
Aren't they
snake.
all?
Aren't they all? You just bowed to him. Why would you do that? He is not deserving of it.
Better bow than get your head chopped off. It's a pretty straightforward equation here, buddy.
I'd rather die honest than live with a liar's head and mouth. At least I speak truth.
The strongest men walk away from the battlefield. The toughest.
Strongest men slay the greatest foes on the battlefield. You and your foreign weakness. It's a wonder you haven't, your town, wherever you're from, have not already fallen to Fimbulwinter.
Now I'm mad at not talking to him. It's now I have to be faced with like, oh, make fun of me all you want. Don't make fun. Just hold my tongue here. It's like, make fun of me. The general context is you can make fun of me all you want, but like you can't make fun of, Wessex.
You can't make fun of Wessex.
Like, yeah, it's like
You fucking what, mate? You make fun of Wessex?
it's pretty much just a very like obvious facial expression of Weisel holding his tongue, for otherwise this would become a more dramatic scenario in the meeting.
Hooligan brawl.
Yeah, we don't need that. There's a king here. We have an adventure to start. So we're not gonna do the whole fight him over making fun of Wessex, but there's just the obvious like,
Yep.
oh, he shut up real fast because he doesn't want to say something dumb, like face.
Not more than a few moments later, the closed great doors to the hall open up again, and almost sheepishly, Baldry walks over to the group of you lot, says, Olvir, you and all with you are now invited to join the king in the great hall. He recognizes your deeds for his kingdom. He just looks at, especially Eagle, and sheepish. Eagle
You see, Eagle,
smiles.
patience does indeed pay off. As I just take my drinking horn and go walk in.
Yep, Olvir laughs and says, Now, Eagle, I know that... Just come, have a drink with me. Just pretend the king isn't there. And Eagle looks at him like it's the dumbest thing he's ever heard, but he goes with him. And you are all welcome to enter the hall. Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
no,
more than cheese curds and watered down wine in there.
I run in.
Oh yeah.
I'm,
I'm going in, but I so want to stir the pot a little bit on this one. Like, I want to walk with Eagle and just keep just jibing him a little bit to make him pissed at the king, just a little bit more and a little bit more. Like,
Perfect. Okay, that's awesome.
God.
Let me move you guys into here, and I will move all the tokens in right now. Wait, I didn't start this music. It just started when I moved it. API.
Yay!
I'll turn off my music to listen to this music.
Yeah, that wasn't intentional. Cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Just gathering all of the things to copy paste all of the tokens. Vornir is left outside. For Vornir.
I've also added to my character sheet a hex token that I just threw together.
Okay. Then I will drag that one out. And I'll make sure you have access to it.
It's still circular.
You're right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to change.
You...
Yeah.
I think I just changed the picture.
You did just change the picture. Drag and drop the hex picture onto the map, and then I will set it up.
Okay.
Let me get the other NPCs ready. So inside here,
I can't drag. Here, I'll put it in Discord.
Where'd you get the hex shape from?
Token. Here, I'll give you the website.
Token tool.
I just threw. Yeah,
you have a super easy token tool. Okay, I think because I definitely made my silly soccer banner in Photoshop. So I guess I could figure it out, but that seems like an amount of effort.
Yeah, token tool. You just get easy colors though. Like you can't do this crazy shit on token tool.
What crazy shit? My crazy shit?
Yeah, you're.
That's token tool. Yeah,
what?
Where's token tool? You sent me a thing, but you sent me I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I'm not using actual token tool. I'm using I was using token stamp.
Ah, okay.
Because I dropped the image in and I could download the token in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bard is here. You guys... That's where the others will sit. You guys can place yourself where you will. Well, there are a few more NPCs in here and some more box text.
I want to sit close enough to Eagle to if he starts something, I can start something with him. Otherwise, we're cool.
Yep. Your bones.
I want to be the little angel on his soldier.
Wow. Runar's the devil.
Half of us are trying to rile him up.
Yeah, I will. The other side going, that king's kind of a dick. Look at him. Look at the way he eats his mutton. Just get it all in his beard. What an asshole.
Your bones thaw by the large fires that are spaced out in the middle of the hall. Over the fires are cauldrons filled with stewed meat and fish with aromas that make your mouth water. Bard slams a ceremonial Saix, I think it's a 6 sword, and shield together to quieten the guests, as the king is about to launch the festivities. When the guests are silent and looking at the king, Eric Bloodaxe lifts a huge horn of mead, the one that was actually being gone for by Eagle before, and proclaims, May Odin grant us victory! He drinks the entire horn in one go. A huge cheer erupts.
I just have a quick question. Is this bloody man an axe in
I
here?
have no idea why that's there, actually.
I'll just willfully ignore it.
Yes, that is probably... You know how I mentioned the game of braids? That was supposed to be in this, but also wasn't supposed to, be in this like that? So I don't know what's up with that. Either way, ignore it.
Looks like it was a baseball accident. There seems to be a bat there. Yeah.
When the horn is refilled, everyone downs their drinks. The king then proceeds with the second blessing. May Njord guide our ships! And everyone downs their second drink, after another loud cheer. The blessing is concluded with the third and last saying, which elicits the loudest cheer from everyone. May Freya grant us a bounty of companionship. The guests then break out into smaller groups, circulating and mingling from table to table. So, it's not just... it's very, very normal for you guys to sit down or stand up and switch who you're talking to and stuff like that. But yeah, the place is filled. There are a few other things going on around here, which I will on. There is a man here next to the table of axes. He is... Let's replace the dead body to just a target.
With a target,
bullseye.
yeah.
There's a target that you throw axes at. It's a wounded corpse.
Exactly.
It's a target dummy, and it's filled with Jello for realism.
Yes.
And he is asking around for people to compete with him in the axe throwing competition. You see that King Eric and Queen Gunhild, his wife, are at the head table over there. And you see there are several servants sitting around, or standing around, serving drinks, making sure everyone is good, including a woman around here seems to be also giving them orders. Yeah. What do you guys do? You said you were sitting on either side.
If everyone goes up to mingle, I just want to make sure I am a distance between Eagle and the king. Like, if he has to make a run for the king, I am between him and the king.
Okay. But I think someone wanted to actually nudge their persuasion a bit. Runar, I think this could be a skill check.
Okay.
Is this verbal manipulation, do you feel? Or is this...
Yeah, damn well is, yeah.
Perfect.
Love being the shit kicker. All right.
So this is difficulty... Actually, this might just be difficulty 1. Yeah, so if you have the skill in it, you already succeed, but if the more successes you
all right,
get, the
I
better.
want extra successes, so let's weird this up. Oh, 2 physical. I don't think that does anything.
Not for this will be mental.
Okay. So just the one from my skill then.
Okay. Eagle looks at you and nods, downs his drink all at once, slams it on the table, stands up.
Uh-oh. Hold on, 2 things. First, a game thing. I could see a deck that is Runar's for some reason. I could just draw from it,
you
but
guys...
I can't, like, choose.
Oh, let me hide that. That was because I had to reset. That was why Zen's was glitching, I think, before. There we go.
Okay. And second, does this activate my, let's see here. What one is it?
The fast reflex thing?
You have an innate sense of danger that gives you a split second of reaction time before an imminent threat?
This is not an imminent threat. He's not walking, and he doesn't have a weapon drawn. Drunkenly, it seems like he seems like with the bigger mug, he got drunk faster. Maybe on alcohol, maybe on words. He points at Eric across the room, and he speaks in what could be song or poem. And he says,
He rap battles.
yeah, you told the troll woman's foe you were short of feast drink. When appeasing the goddesses, you deceived us, despoiler of graves. You hid your plotting thoughts from men you did not know, for sheer spite. Oh. Oh. He's pointing us at Bard. My bad.
Oh.
So he's pointing at Bard. And he says, for sheer spite, Bard, you have played a bad trick on us. That's how he finishes that. It looks like when he sits down, he says, and looks satisfied with himself. Bard looks very taken aback and very trying to hold in his anger at this. Bill says, that man is the king's most loyal dog. Or says that to you, Bruno.
Dogs aren't so bad.
Look at him and say, "This is very well said. What do you think the response will be?"
Hopefully, he just gets... Well, hopefully he challenges me to a duel. He'd lose. It would be fun. But, in all honesty, I just want to embarrass him in front of the king. See, that's what happens when you care about a man like that and his opinion of you. Maybe if I'm lucky, the king will betray him here. I'll be proven right.
I want to worm tongue this so bad.
Do it. Do it.
Bard does look very angry.
Yeah, I'm going over to Bard next. And
Oh
being
no,
like,
I want to go over to Bard. I want to go over to Bard.
do it.
Both of you.
Do it.
We both go to walk over and go, you.
The other two of you doing something while this horrible idea is continuing to
Not
develop?
a horrible idea. We're just...
No, it's a horrible idea in that both of you are doing it against each other.
Do you have a skill to throw axes?
It's probably physical.
It will be based on physical stuff.
Because am I supposed to have a sword skill? I didn't think I needed a sword.
You do not need a
No,
sword
you
skill.
don't.
Okay, so it stands to reason I don't need an axe skill.
To throw axes, it would be based on
There's an
probably
athletics skill.
athletics.
I don't
Yeah.
have that skill.
Here, I'll look
But you
up,
have physical
I think
runes. You automatically
Athletics
get one
perform
success.
risky physical feats such as tightrope walking, balancing, climbing, etc. The difficulty ratings based on the feat being attempted and should be judged by the Norn.
I am the Norn.
Yeah, that's what the athletics for an axe throwing thing. I don't have it. I'm just trying to.
Let me double check. Because
in combat, right? Don't you, as long as you like
later when
have,
you do it, yeah. There's no do you hit kind of question about that. Here we go. So when you are throwing axes, I do have that. It is the athletic skill, actually, according to this. But some players can make a good case for using perform skill instead, akinning it to juggling.
Well, you have your void rune that is always physical, right? So you at least have a +1 success.
Yeah.
All you need to do is draw another one, and that would give you 2 successes.
It's easier to talk to a skeleton. It is literally easier for me to pull up a skeleton and shake it and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Maybe I can tell you how to throw axes better.
Without drawing any runes, then I can just pick up a skeleton and yell at it. But axe throwing.
Though Commune with the Dead, I think, has a +2 difficulty to start with, and depending on how long they've been dead. Yeah.
Is it +2? I thought it was 0.
No, Commune with the Dead's +2 difficulty, and then I think if it's dead for less than 5 minutes, it's 2, and then up from there.
You're right. Never mind. I can't yell at the
Crazy
dead.
hard skill.
Okay. So
if I need the skill, then I wouldn't do it because I would know that I'm not good at it.
I think the man comes over to your table. You guys look like the most
Oh,
the
this
toughest
is a
bunch.
different story. If he's coming over to the table.
Yes.
If he engages us.
Yeah, he comes over to the table. He introduces himself as his name is Thistlebardy.
this? No bother thee.
And he says, "Now, I saw there were a number of axes there. I was wondering if anyone would like to challenge me to a game of throwing a few at the target. I'm no expert, but I think I could beat you." And he points at Asdis. Or perhaps you. Points at Olvir. And about you, good sir. Wissam.
If anybody wants to
We could all
do
play.
this, if anybody wants to do this, I have a way to make it look like you're doing it. It might be really cool.
Is there a prize to be won?
Of course, of course. It's not just for glory we play for, but also for gold. How about 10 scat?
Is there
Each
a
of us.
cost to be paid? Ah, I see the game.
I see. You ante in to
Exactly.
the scat pool.
I
I
turned to our, I guess, our bard friend, something like it. So
Yeah.
I'll give you all of my scat if he throws the first game and then cleans the floor at them on the second.
You are telling that to Runar?
Yeah, and just basically just like pointing out that he's hustling us.
Likely, but we can hustle a hustler. Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh no.
Oh,
Season
no.
1.
The season 1.
Season 1 root draw.
What happened with the hustler?
Yeah.
We kicked the shit out of a guy doing 3-card ante in an alley.
I'm gonna draw a rune.
Shuffle.
Draw
Okay,
the
draw the
I
rune.
draw a rune to see what happened with the hustler last time.
What is it?
It is Mon.
Oh, self. You were the hustler.
You were the hustler.
That was your character interaction.
Oh,
How
that's
did you hustle us?
I mean, Runar's the kind of guy that uses words and deceptions in his everyday life anyway. So it was more than likely that he talked up a big game and got like pulled into the group that way, and now is sort of in over his head a bit.
excellent.
But yeah, if you're making eyes at me and this is how we can throw the game, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
I have no
can-
idea how.
I have
think
no
if-
scats
if-
to put in.
if we can use perform and I can use my hand of tear, which is a ghostly hand that must remain within 10 feet of me, like a glove on your hand.
Guide the axe through the to the target.
I mean, it does whatever I can do. So I can use my perform skill to throw and make it look like you're throwing.
Yeah,
Because
Oh, I'm
the
so
ghost
down
hand.
for that.
that's great. Yeah.
I'm glad we're just doing the D&D part, the character thing. We go to the tavern and we don't follow the mission.
We start
There is a
hustling.
mission. There's
So-
a hustler to kill at.
Do you, who accepts his challenge? Who antes in 10 scat?
I have no scat. I cannot
I'll
ante.
ante in the scat for I'm sorry, how do I pronounce your name again? Asdis.
Adun. Oh, Asdis.
Asdis.
I actually have 10 scat, so I'll, make eye contact with you and look back at him and say, sure, let's do this. And, stick the 10 scat into the pool and see what's going to happen next.
Okay.
I'll just stroll up next to her as she's like inspecting the axes and be like, let's have a little music to make this more lively, and pull out my lyre, start playing.
Nice. Yeah, he's like, all right, so this is an example throw. You haven't done this before, you just, this one is an overhand throw. You can do underhand as well, and you toss the axe like that, and it just goes
Granny
thunk.
throw an axe.
I did real life axe throwing. Underhand, I think, was a thing, but it was actually
No,
harder.
it's not.
I couldn't remember.
It's not really a thing.
People remembering then. Yeah.
You can throw an axe underhanded. It's not like it's never been done in ever.
Yeah.
But generally,
So
you throw it overhead.
he throws it, and it
It's
looks.
it's like bowling where you step into it, and it's
Mhm.
about like following through, and the thing spins the whole time.
He throws it, and it hits very near the center of the target. He says, "Ah, lucky throw." Well, he goes and pulls it out to you. Whichever one of you wants to start first, he will go last if you want him to. He's good either
This
way.
is a practice throw?
Yes, one
Or
practice
just-
throw each. We're not going to do a skill roll for it, but you can each do
Okay,
a practice throw.
I'll pick it up. I'm not actually very skilled at this sort of thing. It's not something I've done before, so I'll just kind of chuck it and see where it goes.
Okay. Yeah.
And-
This is all under your own power, this practice throw. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
magically enhancing
absolutely.
this at all.
We're gonna hustle him.
It's under my own power, so I'm actually gonna just randomly weird for the fun of it to see if it even comes close.
Okay.
And I got one, so it at least comes near or hits the target, though definitely not in the center.
Yeah. And he says, like, "Wow, that's for a first throw. That's good."
I think one success, like a success, would be a axe in the board.
Yeah. This
Like
one.
it's
Yeah, it goes in the board.
the board, the axe.
This is actually intended to be over multiple throws. It's not just a single throw each. So
Like 3.
yeah. And he gives you polite applause. Then hands. There are several here, so he just hands an axe over to third competitor. Wisdom, you're competing.
Oh no, I wasn't doing it because he's hustling us, and I.
Oh, you
know.
weren't doing it. It's just the two of them.
Also, I only have $10. I'm not spending my last $10 on a goddamn hustler.
Okay, so it's just the two of them. All right, I did not know that.
Sounds good. Then
Then let's do
let's
this.
just work. Yeah.
He,
So I'll weird this.
you'll weird
Okay.
this, and I will pull runes for him as well.
Do I have to be?
Out of curiosity, what is your void rune?
My void rune is spiritual, so it's no help here. So I have one rank, but I have 2 possible reds I can draw.
So hand of tear is a physical skill.
Hand of Tear is a spell. Yeah.
No,
So you need
because of
physical runes to do.
I need physical runes to do the performance, which is the skill check,
Okay.
by way
Yeah.
of Hand of Tear.
Yeah,
Got
the out of combat effect for Hand of Tear is you can make the hand like
Yep.
appear.
Okay, I know he got one success. What did you get?
Got 2.
Nice. All right. So yeah, with the help of Runar, you defeat him, and laughing, he grants you 40 scat. Not 40. It was 20 because it was just 2 of you emptied in. So you gained you gained 10 if you didn't remove 10 that you paid in. And he says, "Well done. What do you think of the axes themselves? When you were throwing them, I guess Runar, I don't know if you, I guess you would feel it too. I'm not sure how that works. The axes themselves did seem well made, more than your standard axe, that's for sure." He says, "What did you think of them?"
Well, I can't say that I know much about axes, but actually, can I do an Arcana check on these things?
To see if they're magical?
Sure, why not? If he's going
Uh,
to draw my attention to it.
Sure. You could also do... Yes, there is. I guess repair equipment would also include knowing how good equipment is.
Yeah,
My
but-
only skill that can help in this scenario thus far.
Yeah, repair equipment looks like the best thing to...
Yeah, I
You could
About the
call me
non-magical
over.
parts of it.
You could call me over to look at the axe, and I can tell you the blacksmithy side of if it's it's a good axe, or no, this axe is made of cheese curds.
Cheese curd axe.
I would like to beckon you over and take a look at the axe. I still want to also check out if there's any.
So how?
Okay.
I need blue runes, right?
Yes, for this. To identify what its properties would be.
Well,
Sorry to
Um,
interrupt, but there is a help skill.
Oh, there is.
It's called
Good.
bestow skill.
Oh, okay. It is a skill that allows you to help other people?
Yeah.
Okay.
The skill allows one to bestow the skill listed in brackets, so whatever skill you're bestowing, to another ally who is touching.
Weird.
Okay, cool. So,
Alright.
without it, we cannot help.
So, for the bestow skill, you could do this. You could do bestow skill without the skill bestow skill.
Yeah. Basically, it just increases the difficulty by 1 of whatever roll you're doing. Because it's difficulty +1 and it's NA for the trait.
Yeah, it looks like the difficulty rating for the bestowed skill is boosted by 1 as if this transfer is sudden and imperfect. So it will be a net no change if you only have rank 1 in a skill, but if you have rank more than 1, then it will be a net bonus. Strange.
Yeah, so at our current level, it wouldn't be worth it, really. But
We don't know enough about anything to help anyone. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Except for the fictional help.
you can
Like, fictional help can still be done.
was spiritual used for arcane?
I actually have
check?
to ask you that. It's mental or spiritual.
I see.
Yep.
I think in this case, with your spiritual, you can tell that is enough to tell these are not magical. But, Wisdom, what did you have a look over these axes yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at them with repair equipment.
'Kay.
I need to draw a brain rune.
You already have a net bonus of 1, so you get
I get one.
one.
I drew a muscle rune.
Okay, it's not quite clear to you how, but these axes are above average in quality to the ordinary axes you'd find in most markets.
Yeah, I tell her these are castle forged steel in this axe.
Ah, you recognize it, yes. I made them myself. I was hoping to impress some of you all. I can see you might be in the market for some weaponry. And he hefts it. The blade is sharp, heavier as well.
I do the silly, like, you get the little edge of sword. Like, I have all the steel I need.
I don't think he's a hustler. I'm pretty sure he's a merchant.
still a hustler.
That's still a hustler.
Listen, as a merchant myself, he's still a hustler.
Just because the game isn't to steal your money from making you lose the axe throwing bet, the game is to steal your money by making you buy his axes.
Making you, definitely.
Yeah, it's a trick
Well-
so you touch the product, which is, it worked.
If that's the game, I think he may have just lost. I'm not buying your axe. Thanks for the money, though.
I
He
think he's
like
gonna charge more than 20 scat.
yeah, he gives you a like intentionally, playfully exasperated sigh, still smiling, and says, "Well, I tried, but if you're ever in the need for arms or armor, I have a smithy just outside, a few houses away. It's one of the best in the business. Better armor too, not just axes. This is just a sample."
So there's like a bunch of people in this room, right? Like,
Over 100.
okay.
It's very loud and
So-
crowded.
Like, while this guy is trying to sell Asdis on the axes,
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna start like going around and like hyping this guy's axes a little bit for him.
Oh, nice.
Enough that he notices, like, look, Asdis, you're not like the most physically imposing person, right?
No, I am very
Oh,
much
I-
not.
The general gist is like, look at how good these axes are that this, small framed person is able to wield them that easily. You know.
Them as if you're the master axe thrower.
Okay. Why don't you make a... I think this is perform, actually, a bit.
Mhm. That's sort of my bag.
Yeah.
This is how I became a war hero. I just talked about it enough and people believed it.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Where'd my character? There it is. So weirded up. Boom, boom.
Nice.
Nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
You
I
have
got
one in the rank, though, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I think you get a few people. I don't think anyone yet buys his axes, but I think a few people are curious enough that when they go over and they're like, Thistlebardy is like, why don't you throw an axe with me? And he continues playing the game with them. And he, while one of them are throwing, goes up to you and says, I appreciate the gesture. If you come by my shop, I can give you a discount. What's your name, son?
Runar.
Runar. Thistlebardy, I introduced myself already. It's good to meet you.
You too. Always happy to help a businessman, especially an honest one.
Nods in your direction, smiles. Oh, it's my turn to throw. He, raises his mug in your direction, downs it, goes to throw the axe. And, yeah. You guys up to anything else? I think you were going to do some stuff with Bard before. He's still, you can see he's over, talking to the queen right now, but he was still pretty miffed before when he did what he did.
I basically just want to keep an eye out. If a situation is brewing, I would like to try to diffuse it, but if there's no situation brewing, then I'm just going to sit back and drink.
Okay. You guys are just enjoying the party now that you're out of the cold?
Yeah, enjoying the party,
Yeah.
sticking behind Egil, seeing what way the wind ends up blowing.
I think
if I can catch Bard away from the king, I might, but I've done enough. So
he does actually after a bit. He's gonna go over towards he'll start walking over towards the woman here who seems to be managing most of the servants, and talking to her for a short bit to catch him there.
yeah, I do. If there's an opportunity to make this worse, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Okay, so you hear him. It's loud, so you can't really hear what he has to say, but you see while he's talking to her, she's handing him a platter of drinks and things to bring to people. He hasn't done this. This has always been the servants doing this, but Bard is taking it from her. Then you walk up, and she turns towards you, and then noticing her look at you, Bard turns towards you, says, "Ah, yes, you're one of the unexpected arrivals. What can I do for you?"
Yeah, Runar. Pleased to meet you again.
Bard, he says, and he's, with not practiced skill, but enough skill, balances the tray on one hand and shakes your hand.
Yeah, I wanted to come over and just express my regret for what happened earlier with the tall one.
Oh.
It's not right that he would call you out in such a way, and so effectively.
Grits his teeth, is what Bard does, and he says, It's no trouble at all. I'm going to go see if I can make peace with drinks. And he, raises the thing.
I've been at many of these feasts before. Drinks usually just make things like this worse. What you need to do is nip this in the bud, friend.
Oh, what do you propose?
Well, I am of some small skill with this lyre, and I could create an opening for you and have a dramatic effect if you have some kind of retort you would like to bring back to the ugly one.
Okay, make a, I think this is
Verbal
also
manipulation.
verbal manipulation. This is gonna be, to see if he likes the idea.
They're gonna have the sickest rap battle.
I'm
in
gonna
here.
check the Bard. Okay, your difficulty will be 3.
And what is... But it's mental. It's gonna kill me. Oh, mental or spiritual. Where am I going with this?
I think in this case it would be mental. I think in this case it's really,
Fair enough.
yeah, because
I don't know, it's kind of
this is some deception
Pressing on
stuff.
the emotions. Pressing on the emotions, though. Maybe that's spiritual.
Well, my initial interpretation of spiritual might be earnestness, and mental might be more deceit. And in this case, Runar is definitely trying to fan the flames a bit. So,
Fair enough. Nope, just +1.
okay. So I think he says, "Well, I'll try that if this doesn't work, but I think I'd rather just. I'm not so much of a talker myself, and I don't want to embarrass myself, but I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Just to let me know.
Well, wish me luck." And he gulps slightly, and then starts heading over to the table with where many of you are sat with drinks. And he says, as he approaches, "I thought I would. I'm here with drinks for all of you. Of course, this is much better than the watered-down wine outside. I apologize again for that. I'm glad you were brought inside, Olvir, and all of you. Eagle, Bard." Eagle says, "Here you go. Just some drinks. I thought I would. You look like you deserve it."
What the gracious host we have here today.
Eagle raises an eyebrow and looks at the mug. And doesn't yet
Do you
drink.
think it's poisoned?
I think he takes the mug and like looks at it. Bard's just like looking at him nervously. And then Bard actually, like, all of you guys just waiting to see what they do.
If the pause goes on, legitimately said that.
Okay, yeah. I think he looks at you, Bard, and Bard is like, What? That's what Bard basically does. And at that, Eagle he touches he invokes a runic incantation to identify menace, and the mug that he's holding, he smears it with his blood on the rune, and then the mug shatters.
He was gonna poison him?
I'll take that as a yes.
That's the coward's way.
Don't drink any of this. It's all been poisoned. He looks at Bard, and people are beginning to overhear this. He stands up again, like looming over everyone there, steps toward Bard, his fury rising, and says, "Your wits have gone, Inviter, despoiler of smiles. Now the rain of the High God starts pouring upon you." He looks like he's about to draw his sword, but instead he turns around and starts dragging himself and all of you, as those with him, towards the door, beginning to just leave. You go with him?
Oh no.
Cooler heads prevail.
Okay,
No,
you don't have to go
making
with him
my
if you
way
don't
up
want
this
to. He's
way.
not forcing you out, but he is trying to get everyone to leave. It's with him. Who's staying?
I'm definitely.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
two of you
I'll
are
leave.
staying.
If the group's
I would
staying,
think
I'm
you're
staying.
Indigo, you're muted, I think.
I had to sneeze and I forgot to unmute myself. So Bard is the one staying. The Bard is the one who owns the bead hall, and he tried to poison invited king.
That's what it seems.
Well, we
Okay.
don't
The
know if the
king?
king's poisoned
Well,
yet.
No,
but for sure
the king
Eagle
wasn't
was.
mentioned. It was specifically.
Specifically
Yeah,
Eagle.
that tray of drinks that he brought over to Eagle's table was poison.
They tried to poison Eagle. So our choices are stay and hang out with the important people, or leave with the angry tree who we've spent all night yelling at.
I think we let the tree leave.
I think we let the tree leave.
Now, hospitality rules.
That's a big no-no.
That's a huge no-no.
Hospitality rules, that's a huge no-no. Eagle is acting like this is definitely poisoned. It isn't actually 100% sure if it is.
Do I have...
Do you want to make a thing our omens and try and read it?
Isn't there? No, there's an alchemy.
What about... Because I was keeping an eye and ear out the whole time. Could I roll, use perception? Just, try and piece things together?
Yes.
If it really was poisoned?
Well,
Yeah.
I think this would be sense motive, actually, rather than perception. This is not what you see. This is more,
I don't have that one.
more than what you see. This is how you think people are, what you think they're thinking and feeling.
Is that mental or spiritual?
It is spiritual.
Is it?
I have an automatic 1 because of my void rune.
Nice.
Not bad.
So, and I have 2 spiritual runes. I could try it.
See if you can put any unusual
else,
motives
yeah.
together? Okay.
Sure.
You don't have anything that increases your senses or anything, do you?
No, all my stuff is like unarmed attacks and blood.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'll just weird and see if I get some spiritual.
Okay.
Nope, just the one.
Just the one. All right. So I think with your sense motive and what's going on here, this definitely does seem to be something. If you're looking at Bard, is probably the one you get the most things from. He definitely was nervous. He definitely was surprised that it seemed like he was less shocked at what Eagle said, and it was more that he was shocked at getting called out at it. With just one success, I don't think it's quite clear to tell exactly how guilty, culpable, etc., or true this is for sure. Bard isn't completely surprised when poison is brought up, though.
Okay, it's more like he's surprised that he's called out on it, not surprised that someone would say he was trying to poison them.
Yeah, that's what you can grasp. I don't think you can get anything else from anyone else.
That's
fine. Yeah, Eagle storms out. Olvir comes with him. They both leave and step outside. Bard, who was here, I think he panics basically, and he starts like, "Oh, I have to make this right," and he starts going after him like, "Eagle, Eagle!" And
I don't think that's a good idea, friend.
He also, he's bringing the tray with him. He runs outside, like, trying to make amends.
Here, have another.
Are you guys just gonna...
This is a fresh one, I swear.
Are you guys just gonna wait in here? Or what do you do?
I sort of want to go and see what the king has to say about,
Yeah.
a lord
Yeah.
inviting people into his home and poisoning them.
Yep.
Because that's
Yeah.
not, that dog don't hunt, Monsignor.
I have also pointedly put down my mug of ale till this has been resolved, because passively drinking a possibly poisoned mug of ale is not the best plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay, yeah,
You don't bring up poison at the
Thinks
drinking
about this
party.
poisoning thing.
Like, let me put this down for a second.
So
Yeah.
everyone heard Eagle's poem insult. It isn't obvious to everyone what caused it. It isn't just like the words "poisoned mug of ale" wasn't used. So as you head over towards you guys are as a group walking towards the king to just like here's what's up.
Yeah, we want
Yeah.
to be at the front of the room, so if there is announcements made, we can be in earshot. We're not like, so what did he say? I couldn't quite hear him.
Yeah,
I want to be in earshot in case something comes up.
yeah.
Give the king the down low. Like, hey, this is what we heard. We don't know.
Yeah, and he and the
Yo,
queen
so
are
check it. We were over there sitting, and then Bard comes over, and he had a drink, and Eagle just flipped the fuck out. I don't even know.
I don't know. The drink exploded.
Yeah, turns out Eagle just doesn't like beer, and that's how he reacts when he gets served it.
Never serve him any more alcohol. He'll kill you.
If Eric does, he might. So you go over to the king. He and the queen are having a quiet conversation, which is normal, and they both look towards you as you approach. And Eric says, "I don't know you."
Oh,
Were you
My
with
apologies.
Olvir's group?
no, we sailed in on, I forget his name already, but the name of the ship. I guess we wouldn't use the name. We wouldn't say like this guy's ship if I'm trying to claim ownership of it in the sentence.
We haven't.
By
We haven't.
saying
Yeah.
by saying dead man's ship, it makes it seem like someone else owns it.
Mhm.
But I used, if he would know of, would that guy be he was a Jarl, so this guy would be a big enough deal to be like on this,
Wasn't
whatever ship.
the guy that we got the ship from the guy who this king has been fighting, though?
Yeah.
His dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't bring it up.
Oh, we don't bring it up. I just,
Yeah,
context
we just came
of
in on
it.
we just came in on this rebel X-wing fighter right into the.
We
Listen,
came in
we're
from
looking
Armor
for
you
some
guys
new
got- you guys
management.
all have around here. That's nice. I like it.
we-
Happy.
so we came in to seek shelter from the storm, and Bard was gracious enough to extend his hospitality. But I'm not so sure if that was a pleasantry anymore.
Seems his hospitality is somewhat in question.
I don't know what
but-
you heard, but Eagle is nothing but an upstart. His word has no honor to it. Anything that he
Yeah.
says you can take with a whole heaping pound of salt.
Still,
That's a
though,
lot
the
of
optics,
salt.
they don't look good, right? I mean, the king is here, and you've got someone screaming about being invited in and being poisoned.
Poisoned. It was a shattered mug. What makes you think Eagle, with his large, troll-blooded hands, didn't just do it himself?
He did some sort of runic magic.
My liege. I
Yes.
like I gotta do the thing.
Well, I shall find out the truth of this. He begins to get up, and he says, Gunhild, I suppose it's time I talk to this Eric. When he is interrupted from a scream from outside.
I told him it wasn't a good idea.
One of the serving ladies runs in, and they would actually run to Baldry at the door. She would say, "Some Bard's been killed." She just like yells it out to everyone. Everything goes quiet. And that's where we'll go to break. We'll come back for the last hour,
Okay.
and yeah, this should be interesting. Back in a bit. We are more than halfway done our session, but this is a good break time.
Mhm.
See ya. Welcome back. We're back with part 2 of Fate of the Norns Ragnarok. It's a saga. What do you, if I'm pronouncing that correct?
Eagle. I don't think it's Eagle. I know I keep
Eagle.
messing it up too.
Eggle's saga. Okay. And there was just a murder.
Well, there was a death. Someone got unalived.
That's true. So I think
There,
we...
there was just a dead body. I can all right. I have an
You
immediate
can
action.
skeleton him.
I really definitely want to commune with the dead because I've got 3 ranks in it.
Wait, you do it then. I only have 1.
Commune with the dead is my thing.
My,
Oh,
That's
that's
a-
all
I
you
have
should.
3
ranks.
By all means, expert dead speaker.
So
You
we
are-
fade in on you guys outside of the mead hall, where you
Make
see
clearing a path for a
not
witch.
1, but 2 people lying on the ground in a pool of blood.
Oh,
One is Bard, and one is Olvir, the older man with Eagle. They are both lying next to each other. Not that far away from each other. Maybe 5 or so.
hey, look, we both want to commune with the dead. I've got Bard if you've got the other guy.
I'll take the old guy. Actually, no, I don't think I can succeed. We went over this. I cannot succeed because you need 3 minimum.
What it looks like is it's a minimum difficulty of 2, and if it's under 5 minutes, assuming they've just been killed, it needs a 2.
Oh, it's a minimum difficulty of 2. My void rune is physical, and I have 1 in the skill. So the only reason I can get anything is if I draw
a
the
spiritual.
You
1.
could get it though, yeah, if you draw that.
Okay, I thought I
Um,
was totally out. I thought
no,
it was 3.
You have a chance.
Okay.
So the king is outside with all of you. There's a crowd forming actually, and the king immediately says to Baldry, "What happened here?" And
If you'll excuse me, I might be able to figure that out, and I kind of push my way through and like get down by the body, and let's try this
Yeah.
game with the dead thing.
go then, Sif Kona. Tell me what happened to Bard. This is Bard that you're doing Speak with Dead with?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do have only one in the rank, but I have 2 passive skills that allow me to just straight up put one more into that rank.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Wait, what
Yeah.
are those passive skills?
Let me scroll down. That's major sacrifice. There we go. +1. So the Nightman cometh. You beckon a lost soul to cooperate with your questioning. Gain a +1 rank in commune with the dead if you perform an ultimate sacrifice, which I will do. And then Gate Seath Aberration. Your rank in commune with the dead is increased by.
Oh, so you have all of your magic powers are talk to dead people.
Are- Okay.
Yep, my entire magic type is do stuff with dead people.
I did not know this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, some of us make dead people, some of us talk to dead people, you know.
I don't even
It's,
make
That's how
it's
the
really a
world goes.
symbiotic relationship, right? We
Yeah.
kill people, she talks to them, has tea, do some weird shit in the back. I don't know.
Allow me to. Are you making an ultimate sacrifice? Let me double check that, because that's a whole thing.
I am, but yeah, that's a good time to take a look.
What is an ultimate sacrifice?
You take 1 rune and put it into the drain pile, meaning that you will not have access to it. It's randomly drawn from your runes. For an hour, you regenerate one. You recover 1 drain per hour.
That seems reasonable, unless, we get into a fight immediately. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to have to activate the drain thing, aren't I?
Yes, you have a macro for that, which
I do.
you're the only one who might need it. These things inflict drain.
Drain. Yes, please.
Just hopefully it's not spiritual.
Alright, let's see what the first drain one is for that sacrifice.
Oof.
Ooh, that's rough.
Not helpful.
But
Well,
you still get the You still get the rank.
Yeah. So what it really is just automatically drawn.
So it's a 3
Okay.
currently. Or, yeah, because it's 2 plus 1s. You have 1, so you have 3.
So you just do it?
No luck with anything I drew, but I did get a 3 on a difficulty of 2. So
What's your void rune?
mental.
Mental?
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
So it's just
It's 3.
it's still a 3. Yep, that's very good. So what does Speak with Dead look like when you do this? It's half the rules I'm checking and half the actual description. Let me check what it describes.
There's a small ceremony as part of the rules. Like, it
Yeah.
says, like, you gotta speak and stuff. It just... The rules clarify that there is a show of
Yeah.
it, and it's not...
It takes
Yeah.
several minutes to perform this skill.
You don't just whisper to a corpse on the battlefield silently and unseen.
No,
The spirit
there's some
speaks back in
chanting involved.
images and emotions, is how it speaks. So you don't get answers in terms of... You get like a flashcard show.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also, with your 3 successes, I think you get. It says
2
1 additional
questions?
question can be asked for every extra success. So is
Yes.
it 2 questions or 3?
It would be, in this case, 2 questions. Because you get, by default, equaling the difficulty would give you 1 question. So
Okay.
getting 3 versus 2, you can ask 2 questions. Their spirit's knowledge is not limited to their memories while alive. Since death, they have access not only to all physical senses, but spirit senses. But they haven't had the chance to do that yet, I think.
Okay.
Basically, if their body has been around and their spirit has still been around to sense things, you can use that. So yeah, what is your first question?
I do want to throw these open to the group, but I have an idea for 2 questions. It'll kind of depend on how emotion-y the answers are.
Let me pause the music. I don't think it's time
First
for
one I'm
happy music.
definitely interested in asking is, did you poison Eagle in order to stir up the pot?
That's a good one.
And the second one I'm debating is... what
Let's start with
happened
just
here?
that one, because that's gonna change things already.
Start with the poison one first.
So,
Right.
you immediately, you get flashes of images and emotions. His perspective as you see Eagle standing up and calling out to you, and how terrible of a person you are. You feel embittered. You feel angry. You go back to your seats, and then Queen Gunhild calls out to you and has a whispered conversation with you, and together, you do not hear specifics, but in the emotions and images, you two conspire together. It is not he has no poison. He has no poisoned ale with him, especially on such short notice. She, in fact, promised to use her magics to poison the ale just before it was drunk.
Nice. Out
Damn,
of
so the queen's in
curiosity,
on it.
is that just something I see, or is that
It's
something
just you.
everyone
It's
sees?
communicating psychically with you.
All right. Then, as this is going on and I'm figuring this out, I'm going to be telegraphing this to everybody.
You're just saying everything as you're getting it?
Yes, in, whatever I'm not doing a perform skill, but, whatever dramatic thing is
Seath
appropriate.
magic usually involves a lot of dancing and chanting and yelling and
Yeah,
sort
I'm
of.
assuming
So
chanting while cradling a bloody head and like head rolling back. That's what I was picturing.
Yeah.
But
Full of unusual
kind of
camera
along with-
angles.
If I'm remembering Trelawney, like she kept, going, oh, and this thing is going to happen, and was
with a
happening.
dead head on her lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So yeah, no, I'll accuse the queen of
Conspiring to poison Eagle.
oh boy.
I'm just picturing you snapping out of the trance, just like staring daggers at the queen, and just like, are you gonna say
I don't.
something?
She's not there. She's in the.
No,
hut
she's
still,
out there
right?
too. She's out here right
Oh.
next to the
Everyone
king. Yeah.
And then you have one more question.
Do you want
yeah,
to?
I'm gonna ask that real quickly before anything else goes down to just figure out what happened here.
Okay. So you see images of Bard panicking, and you feel his panic of like, okay, grabs the drink. Maybe this will work. He literally does. You experience him go out and say, maybe we can fix this over a drink, and just enraged, Eggle just draws his sword, large, great sword, and stabs him in the chest in fury with it. And you see Olvir next to him looks in shock at what's going on and faints, doesn't die.
Stabs the dead body.
Sorry?
He stabs the dead body, like the one that's speaking to.
Yes. The perspective is like you feel yourself getting stabbed as you fall. Olvir in shock faints nearby, and then with your dead senses, you do not see face down in the snow, but you hear running, quickened footsteps. Someone.
So is the other
ran
guy
away.
not dead then?
The other guy's not dead, correct. He just was
Okay.
collapsed on the ground next to a dead person.
And maybe something should be done about that.
Yes. I was about to say, he will actually awaken, because it takes several minutes to do this ritual, during which he wakes up.
Running over to old man.
Yeah, and then you see that he is in fact awake.
And
he is in
will-
fact breathing and alive, but he's still unconscious when you get to him.
Still in, the proclaiming type of thing, I will present this as Egil has heroically, slain this horrible poisoner. And firmly plant us on a side.
Okay. I think as soon as you say what you said, the queen snorts and says, an obvious ruse. You're no more a skilled Seathkona than I am, Eagle. The bird. She's referring to the bird that time.
Eagle and eagle. Obviously, two very different things.
Yes.
Oh, when I
She
looked it
says-
up, it's ogle.
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 Hey, ogle.
Ogle.
Interesting.
It was a hard AH, yeah.
As she tries to defame our skeleton witch, Rysam feels compelled to stand up for our ragtag band of adventurers at this point, and it says something along the lines of, "My lady, I do ask that you rescind that what would that be? That
Accusation.
that accusation. For you see, I am the strongest man from Wessex, and on my word, she is the best bone witch these seas have ever seen. And you should heed her words as if they come straight from the halls of hell."
Just a character question. Being the strongest man from Wessex, does that make you Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, it makes me culturally Christian. Something about the gods of the north bringing eternal winter upon the land has shattered my faith a little bit.
Just a little.
just a little.
So he's not like the most devout Christian, but he definitely has like the Christian upbringing, and then has in these adventures turned more towards like Norse stuff just by seeing that, oh, well, clearly I'm on the wrong team here. They have eaten the sun and have brought up the seas.
Is this a season 1 thing that at any point you actually had to get over?
Oh, this is definitely a season
Oh,
one
this
thing
was your
where I
season
like,
1 character arc.
Yeah, I was calling
Yes.
blasphemy the whole time. We're like, Ragnarok is coming. You're like, no, this is just winter. There is a plan for these things.
Excellent. So,
But
draw that
now
rune.
now he's over that. But yeah, I am basing my whole argument that I have honor on being the strongest man from Wessex and using that to vouch for our Bone Witch.
Okay, well, in this case, I think this is still going to be verbal manipulation. I think this will be
Can we argue
spiritual.
for lore persona?
Lore does not help. Lore helps with knowing, not with
Yeah,
convincing.
I tried.
So, yeah, no, this
But
is
I
verbal
have that skill.
manipulation.
But I have that skill.
I know. That'll help you know. What would the king do if his queen was accused of someone failed to successfully accuse his queen of poisoning someone or things like that?
I'm not accusing the queen of anything. I'm just humbly requesting, if anything, this is etiquette, is what I'm trying to get at, and less of me trying to manipulate the queen. It's me simply asking that she respect this woman. I am seconding her opinion.
But her opinion,
As opposed,
the queen is specifically shooting that down. So if you want to defend it, then we'll have in fact, opposed verbal manipulation check.
just trying to ask her to reconsider. This is not sword fighting. When we get to the sword fighting,
At any time, you can draw your sword and sword fight.
that's
I
how you
don't
die.
recommend it right now.
I know,
No, there's like 140 other dudes here.
There's literally a legion here.
I mean, etiquette does call out that it ensures you don't perform a social faux pas. So, I mean, if that's the worry.
I guess if that is the worry, then this would be more like, what she's trying to say is this.
Backpedaling on me? Yeah. I'm okay
Yeah, a
with
little bit of backpedaling, but make it so you're not wrong, so they're not calling you a liar. Because that's the part that's egregious to wise with.
Yeah, it'd be more like she didn't mean this when she said this. Therefore, it's both not calling her wrong.
That's the part that he has problems with.
Okay.
Is that they are calling you a liar with no real basis for that, and I won't have our trusted Bone Witch talked down to. I don't know what else to call you, because I'm sure he doesn't know the significance of your position or anything. He definitely sees you as a Bone Witch.
I am perfectly good with being back down. I still wanted to kick over the hornet's nest if we, get out of range now. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no range to get out of here.
What? We don't have to do it right now, but while they're trying not to get executed, I'm looking at the tracks to see if we went to the boat or if we went to the wilderness, because that'll determine where we're running.
Without any of our supplies in the warehouse? Figure out where the
I have
warehouse is?
survival.
Anyway, I whiffed it real bad. I got 0 possible results.
Excellent.
Well,
what's
you
your
have
rank?
one of the skill, right?
No, I don't have the skill.
Oh.
That's
You
why I
don't-
was
I thought
like,
you had
I
etiquette.
don't
With the blade.
Do you not have etiquette?
Oh
No,
no.
I don't have etiquette.
Well, to start with, she has 1 rank, and
Wait, what? Oh, your
and this
rune
is
physical.
spiritual, I think, against both spiritual versus spiritual. Is that right? Or would she be?
Oh, for etiquette?
Is etiquette either or?
Etiquette is
mental or
mental or
spiritual.
spiritual.
Okay.
I do the wrong etiquette.
Yeah.
You do Wessex etiquette.
No,
This
yeah, I
is
do
Norse
the
etiquette.
etiquette of the court of Wessex. I do not do the etiquette of
Perfect.
I
Oh
don't
boy.
remember what's the Lady Jarl.
This is bad.
Yeah, she got a 3 or a 4, depending on what color she's using.
Jesus. Okay. Well,
How much does she draw?
she's a queen. It's gotta be
That's
like level
fair.
15.
Hold on. I would just like to remind the class I have not only this out of combat ability, but also this out of combat ability.
As a reminder, the stream cannot see the chat log because we don't use
Oh,
dice rolls in this game.
Yeah.
I have an innate sense of danger that gives you a split second of reaction time before an imminent threat, and I sense when someone's plotting against you. You get an omen that you must discern.
The first one
The omen is get
does
them.
not trigger.
Okay.
The second one does not yet trigger.
Okay.
So I think, yeah, there's just some, after you say this, there's just silence, and Eric
Gunhild will remember that.
Eric is enraged, not at specific, even though it was you, you were defending her, but I think he's enraged at all of you, which is this, as a group. She says,
come now.
"You dare accuse my wife, the queen, of murder, of conspiracy? No, I think that it might have been you. Strangers, new arrivals, sitting at his table. You may have been the one to set this entire thing up.
I
But,
accuse her of nothing. I only tell what the dead have said.
and
Have
you
shown.
are the only one who might know that. You can say whatever you want to say. I know how this magic works. I think what he says is, I will investigate this matter. All of you, because the 12 guards with Ophir are still around, I will question you all personally. That man, pointing at Ophir, is just waking up now. Starting with you. Come in. I think he says, come inside, all of you, to tell me what happened. But he looks at the 5. That's to them, the other witnesses. But he looks at you. He says, no matter what happened, and he pauses, intentionally leaving room for, I still think something is suspicious here, and I think it was you. That man must be caught. That, was his name Agel? Or Agel? Ogle.
Ogle.
Ogle committed murder. Any accusation, any poisoning, does not respond like this. Not during a celebration. So, I need my men to find him. And if you find him first and bring him back for a trial, that might clear your name. For now, you are no longer welcome in this hall. And he steps inside. Baldry looks at you apologetically and closes the door.
Could we have our stuff? I've already started to track him.
While that, after he closes the door, Baldry closes the door. He's out there with you. He doesn't close it, so he's inside. And he looks down sadly to Bard's corpse. Says, if it will help you find the killer, then you can have. He calls one of the servants by name. They're not nameless servants. They just are to us. And orders them to direct you to where your stuff was stored. He says, I will prepare for Bard's funeral.
Please don't use our boat. We still need it.
He has his own funeral boat.
Yeah, you buy your boat ahead of time.
Good.
Yeah, you guys get your stuff.
So I'm trailing behind a little bit because it took me a while to stuff. I've like a cured ram's bladder with all the cheese curds I could from outside.
You're stocking up on it.
Nice.
Yeah, can I track
You
to
absolutely
like
can.
see?
You guys are bringing your stuff with you after you get it.
Well, where else could we put it?
I mean, you could leave it there if in case you want to come back, but you could just not want to come
No.
back.
No,
Yo,
we're supposed to
I'm
come
already
back.
packed for this.
Well, the king is saying you could clear your name or clear your suspicion, at least,
Mhm.
if you.
We could clear our
Bring
name or
back.
clear out of town. Those are the options.
So I have to play into the character trait here and at least bring up. So guys, I'm thinking we just leave, right? I mean, this can all settle itself out, and we can get on to Icelandia. And
Yeah, you say that, but two things. One,
The
the
snowstorm
raging
is still
storm.
ongoing.
The raging storm that made us dock in the first place.
Still there.
We are trapped in by what is the god up here that makes the storms?
Tor.
Tor?
Thor? Thor?
Tor.
Okay.
Tor.
Well, Thor's mighty fan or something is
It's the hammer.
Well, how does that make an ice storm?
Because the dwarves gave him the power to do that. Never mind, you're too
Never.
white.
Well, anyway, Thor and the icy hammer are keeping us trapped here. And if we bring in Egil in chains, then he is no longer the strongest man on this island. And those who bring him in are free to claim such a title. I'm thinking
but
I need to expand my resume.
I don't even
The
think you're the
strongest
strongest
man
man
from
in this
Otloy.
group.
But here's the question. Do we really want to bring Egil back in chains? Which side are we on here?
Well, it makes sense from the queen's perspective because Aigul is a claimant to the throne, a strong claimant.
Is he out of character?
Yeah, aren't they related? The king and Aigul?
They are not related, no.
Oh, I thought they were.
No, he's just like a nobleman. He's ostensibly a nobleman. Like he's from a family that has means and is recognized by other rich families, but he's not like
Not
So it's
for
like
the
a-
king's title, no.
Yeah.
He's related to Jarls.
he could become a jarl if he works hard enough, kind of thing. He would probably eventually be tithed to town or something and be installed as a jarl if he is such like a strong person. But currently he doesn't have like a claim on the throne. But I asked I'm doing prison rules. I asked who the strongest guy on the island was, and if I kick his ass and I bring him in, I am now the strongest man on the island.
Okay.
That's how it works. It's the transient property of muscles.
Yep. Um,
I'm gonna go punch Tiny over there. So just a quick question. So the book has little like blurbs about famous people. Is that all public knowledge?
what are
Hey,
you?
it's just
I
that
don't.
under Eric Bloodaxe, it says his wife was rumored to be a Seath Kona. Like,
Oh, her. Yeah,
would that be a thing that we
the
would have
rumor
known?
would be. Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I think you see as you're talking about this with your stuff as you begin to track him. You see a small white snow rabbit hop out and cross the path in front of you, before immediately being picked up by a diving hawk and brought up
An
into
omen.
the air.
I don't even need to check my skills. I know
No,
that's bad
that's
fucking
a
news.
Do some of you Omni people want to do it, or
Yeah, let's read some omen.
I'll look around trying to figure out where my hawk is.
Yeah, how do I?
Dude,
Your hawk is still in its cage.
yeah, in the backpack.
On the boat.
That sounds good.
Or yeah, dangling from the backpack. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wait, I technically have a merchant cart / sleigh and an animal.
Oh, was that on
We're
the
gonna need
boat?
a bigger boat.
On the
I think it was
boat.
on the boat.
It's gotta be on the boat.
Yeah. So that's just sitting there. What type of animal is it?
I like to say it's like a ram,
large ram.
like a large
Can you
ram.
get a ram on a boat?
Why not?
I-
They eat
Yeah,
anything.
But it's a longboat. It's not a boat with a hull. Longboats, the stuff is just kind of in the middle. So it's just a goat on
There's
the
just
boat.
a goat sitting there
Yeah,
munching
Go on a
on.
boat.
Yeah. Portable milk. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a ram. He did say
Ram.
it's a ram.
Ram is yeah.
You
Oh,
can't
never
have
It's
mind.
not milk.
Never mind. Can't milk a ram.
Nope. But yeah.
What? This ram milk tastes really weird.
So
You guys gotta try this. It's bizarre.
so
What ram do I need to draw to understand the oak,
this will be spiritual.
which is
Green.
Okay.
Okay.
Are
I
we
got a
all?
2.
I
Are
got
we
a
all
one.
weirded?
Sure, why not?
Okay. What?
Right.
It's spiritual, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm
Wait, do
sorry,
we
I got
all
a
act-
3.
I got 3 again.
So we all have the omen.
Nothing.
Do we all have the omen?
I don't
for
have
one?
it.
One.
You don't have it?
No.
You're just innately spiritual. You're
I
just
have
going off your
my
wolf.
void rune is spiritual, and I have 2 spiritual runes I can draw, and I drew both of them.
Both of which you
You're
just
just going
drew.
off your pure wolf instincts.
As a
of,
rem-
I'm
like,
going off pure instinct.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So you have a thing. You know how it? Yeah. This is definitely related to you can sense when someone's plotting against you. You have a
plotting.
feeling that not only is someone plotting against you, something will be hunting you soon. Specifically.
I think this is a double-layered hunt, so perhaps we don't fight the strongest man from here. We put him on our side and take out the strongest king. Because we are definitely symbolized by the little cute rabbit, because we are a cute little group. And the hawk is definitely that
Wait.
crazy-ass witch lady.
Yeah, I mean that was a given, right? I mean, she's sleeping with the king. You think she's gonna let us go? No, we're fucked here.
No. Yeah, we need troll blood, man. As much as I hate to say it, on our side.
Can we at least
You can have a fist fight.
can we press gang him at least? Can we do that?
What happened to no slavery?
No, no. You just beat him up and just join our gang.
Well, the first thing would be to find him. So
Yeah.
how are we going to do that?
I
I have tracking skill.
Okay.
was
What?
like, oh, no. It's like, so yeah, the conversation eventually works its way around to that sentence of, well, before any of this, we need to find Eagle.
Yes, you do.
And we all
I-
turn to wolf, like, come on.
It is physical or mental. I'd like to levy for a mental, going like, all right, this dude, like, I gotta get in this dude's head. Like, where would he go if I assume his longboat's still there?
His longboat is still there. Yes.
Yeah. So, trying to get in his head of where would he go from here?
Okay.
Like, where is the place that he would want to
so
get
then, yeah,
away
this
to?
is a mental tracking.
Yeah.
Then yeah, let's do it.
Weird. Wait, those are the same runes I pulled
Did you
for
clean
my.
up before?
It does
thought I did.
automatically shuffle when you clean up. So it might just be luck based.
Okay.
But I don't think you.
Unbelievable.
I don't know if that you did clean up. I don't remember it disappearing.
I thought I did. I hit the cleanup button, but maybe it didn't. I'll click it like 8 times and then I'll weird
it
again.
is
It
gone.
clicked.
It's gone now.
Okay. I got 1 blue.
Plus, what in total?
Plus,
What?
plus 1 for tracking.
Plus 1 for tracking is level 2.
My tracking is rank 1. I drew a blue rune.
And then your void rune is spiritual.
My void rune is spiritual, yeah.
Okay. So
Does this guy count as a medium creature, like a wolf, or a medium crafty creature?
I think there's
I know precisely what the difficulty is to track him. So
Okay.
you follow his footsteps up. See that he does not actually go down the main path down to the island to the south. You follow footsteps that head west. However, shortly after leave, you find that the footsteps themselves are I wouldn't say joined by another pair of footsteps, but there is another pair of heavier, larger footsteps that have passed over his. since he walked over them, and then as they split off, the larger ones split off, heading towards a hamlet. It's probably been about 20 minutes of traveling so far in the snow. You see a hamlet in the distance. It is dark. You don't see any lights on it. You do not see Oggle's footsteps anymore at all in the path. Just see these large, different ones heading towards this hamlet.
Maybe he's there.
We have a set of tracks. Let's follow it.
Okay. As you approach the hamlet.
Oh, as we get out of town,
Okay.
I would like to activate one of my magic powers to do my fortune telling power, if I can find it. It is the passive for Beckon Yggdrasil. Someone wants to beat me to it. Yeah. Gain insight into how the cosmic ash tree is faring. I'm looking at if this is like a big thing. I'm trying to see how big of a deal we're stepping into.
Okay. Like,
You can gaze onto the health of the world tree and get glimpses of earth-shattering events that may be occurring on one of the worlds that hangs in its branches or roots. I'm basically doing a Geiger counter test for this mission as we head out. Like, I'm waiting till we're out of, so it doesn't look like I'm doing big magic crap.
is this a skill test that you do as part of it, or is it just a thing you immediately know?
It is the out-of-combat effect of Beckon Yggdrasil.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm just trying to get the feel of it. Is this like an A-level mission, or is this just like a normal thing? Is this part of a bigger story?
You sense unrest in Midgard. You sense that there is some kind of great unrest going on. More than you might expect for one attempted murder and actual murder. Something bigger is happening.
Yeah, so after, I'm assuming this involves kneeling down and physically touching the roots of some tree. So as Wyzen gets up, he straightens up his armor and, checks that his sword, can easily free from the sheath, being ready yourselves. This is... bigger things are afoot.
Yes. You see the hamlet at a distance, and as you descend towards it into the forest, you lose sight of it for several minutes as you get closer to it. But as you return to in view of it, much closer this time, it seems that in the several minutes since you last saw it, it seems that some of the roofs have caught on fire. And as you get closer, you hear screams. And I wouldn't say the sounds of combat so much, but definite sounds of screaming and things associated with that.
Does anybody have ice powers?
I do. I have ice powers.
Oh, use your ice powers.
You guys are still a bit of a distance away. If you guys approach, I don't think it's clear what's going on yet.
I can summon forth a 10 by 10 by 10 rough block of ice.
I don't think that's going to put out a fire. It'll put out a building by smashing it.
It will technically no longer be on fire.
That is my ice power. Create a 10 by 10 rough block of ice. This can be used as a bridge or a barrier. Oh, I cannot create it over any matter, so I can't use it as a crushing weapon.
I think it's more a matter of you can't freeze a wolf in place or something.
Yes, I can't do that. I can't freeze things. I summon forth a block of ice.
Perfect. I'm assuming you're rushing towards the screaming?
Yeah, we run towards the screaming like heroes.
Perfect.
Do I go wolf because I go faster as a wolf?
Do you go ahead of everyone else or stay with everyone else?
I also don't think if someone's screaming that their house is on fire, a giant horse-sized wolf showing up would make it
Don't
any
worry,
better.
I'm here.
I'm here to save her.
No,
Okay.
no plan.
No, I'll stay
So the
with the group.
fire they can't handle because they don't have a bucket brigade. Wolves, on the other hand, they got fucking swords. They'll take that wolf
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if people are screaming in a burning house, without hesitation, Wisdom's gonna start like.
As you get closer, you see
Lining it
that
that
they are
way.
not screaming because of the burning house. You see a single armored figure chasing down, and you see before you at a distance stabs a helpless running peasant woman through the chest and slays her before turning towards a running child several meters away from it when it notices
Oh.
you.
Oh no.
Okay.
Wolf
Is this technically still out of combat?
It's about to not be.
Okay. Because I can
Yeah,
make someone
anytime
lose their train of thought outside of combat.
You can do what now?
It is. They already have stopped and turned towards you if they notice you.
Oh, yeah. If they've noticed me, if they've noticed us with malicious intent,
Yeah, coming towards you guys. They have in fact.
yeah,
Let me.
I'm dog now.
yeah.
I am
You
dog
go,
man.
dog. I would like to once again beckon Yggdrasil, but for the combat effect.
So, let me.
I would like to ask if it's been an hour.
Has it been an hour? I don't think it's been an
It
hour.
has not been an hour yet, sadly.
All right.
And I will show you guys. I'd say are quite a distance away. You guys are just running up directly. So I'd say you're here. It is about there, and here's the map.
Hey.
See this figure as you get close enough to enter combat. You see that beneath the armor and sword and shield is a skeletal visage, bone. In terms of transforming into a wolf for combat, the game actually is very iffy about that, because you need to specifically spend runes to maintain it.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
So if it was combat, yeah.
So I could switch out of combat, but as soon as combat starts, I need to play a rune
Yes.
to maintain it. Okay.
We'll get to how that works.
Okay.
But for now, I think it's time to roll initiative.
Yeah. So I guess I have to do my that'd be my first. Okay, cool. How do I do my turn?
Click on our token and then click the
Click on your
initiative
token
button.
and then click initiative. I will have this here.
An initiative is a button on my character sheet.
It's a macro.
It's a macro.
Yeah, if you click on the macros tab, it's Spence made it, so
Oh,
you can put it to in bar.
sick. Boop, boop.
Hey, the fastest man.
Oh no, I might even be faster. I don't. I have so many most of my powers are go real fast, hit real hard. That is why.
All I know is I want him to waste his time coming to us.
Yeah. I get some bonus for my fleet-footed and tactical advantage passive powers.
So fleet-footed just increases
Oh.
your movement speed. Tactical. Let's see how combat goes. I need to roll initiative for this creature too.
Yes, please.
I think one of them has an initiative bonus.
Tactical is during upkeep, you freely move plus or minus one position in initiative order. Because both Zed and I have that also.
Oh, okay, cool. So we can just climb this initiative ladder.
Yes.
We just
So
stack.
initiative is not re-rolled at the start of each round. It stays as it is, but as things change it over time, it will change over time. So
Okay.
combat is a whole thing. The first thing is we'll all want to be on our playmat section. And let's start how we'll probably have time for one combat round, and then we'll end the session. So rules for combat. There are 4 phases in combat. First one is weird. Basically, everyone draw draw runes. Get your void rune as well.
Okay.
So I on the app, I'm going to draw runes equal to how many this creature has.
And then they go in your in-hand area.
Yep, and they go into your in-hand area to use.
Right.
I drew all of my spiritual runes again.
The next thing, once we are all ready, is upkeep. So anything that happens in upkeep is out of turn order as well. It can be resolved in any order. So this is things where a lot of passives trigger an upkeep. I'm going to check if this creature has any upkeep, for example. That would be no. Any of those? Yes. Those will all be no. So this creature does not do anything specific during its upkeep. If you guys have things that change initiative or with tactical advantage, double check what that one is. There's one called Tactician and one called Tactical Advantage. One affects initiative and one gives you a free movement, I think.
Tactician is the initiative one.
Okay. Indigo, your character has tactical advantage, right?
Yes.
So
during upkeep, I can perform a move action, which I can move 5 spaces.
Nice. That's including armor?
I have fleet foot, so I go up.
Fleetfoot increases it from 4 to 5. What type of
Yeah.
armor are you wearing? Do you have armor?
I'm wearing a light armor.
Okay, so yeah, you can move 5 spaces. So you can.
Would it maybe? No, I'm not talking. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay, so you can move 5 hexes anywhere. I'm going to change these hexes to black so they're easier to see.
Thank you.
That didn't. Let me also improve. Oh, that's the background.
How do I? Is it control? How do I get the ruler when I move?
So you click on your token and right-click when you're dragging it.
Oh, I use Q myself.
Oh.
But right-click works too.
And then you right-click again at your end destination, and it should do it.
It's not telling me how many. No, wait. So what is it?
That was 5 hexes for me. But it
doesn't show me. I can't get the ruler.
Like it's just not there.
I can get that ruler. I can get that ruler where it goes like this, but I can't figure out the one where it shows me.
It is showing me when you move your token, so that's very weird.
I just feel doesn't it have a point mapping line where it can show you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and that's what's appearing to me when you move your character. At least I think that was you. Maybe that was.
No, it was probably me showing.
Oh.
Yeah. So did that bring it forward and back on your guys' screen?
Oh, no, I just saw the arrows.
Yeah, I see the numbers on those.
Oh, cool.
How did you do that? I can't figure it out.
While you're
click and hold, and then right click as you put it on a point.
Oh.
Oh, cool. I am a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Wisdom rushes forward, broadsword in hand, runes flaring on his armor.
Perfect.
I also have a pile of things that make me magic that just keeps me alive. That's most of my magic powers. Yeah. And then I go first too. Do I just go again?
And then you go first. If we've all done stuff for upkeep, I am good to go.
Does upkeep am I in wolf form right now because I did it outside of combat?
You would have to spend an action to do it with the right rune that's assigned to that action.
Okay.
And if you want to go before me and not be last, you can do that. That's for an upkeep.
Sure. I'll move up in the order.
Is that a thing you have for upkeep?
Yeah, I have Tactician.
Okay. Cool. Then, if we are all good for upkeep, we move to the next and main phase, actions. This goes in turn order. So, you can use your actions to... You can play each rune that you have, you can use to do a thing. So, Wisdom, you can play your one rune. You have your actually, you have 2 runes because you also have your Void rune. Any rune can be used to move. If you want to go closer, do a ranged attack. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna... Okay, follow-up question. How does parrying work? Do I need to hold a rune to parry?
You do. And if it is a rune of the same type of damage that you're taking, then it it's extra bonus. It's a small extra bonus, but it is there.
All right, and okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to use one of my runes, not my void rune, because that one's the physical. So I think I need that to parry.
If from physical damage, it would reduce the damage by more. It's physical, yeah.
Yeah, well, I figured I'm going to be parrying sword skeleton and not nightmare beast, so I can hedge my bets. I know I'm not sure, and reserve that one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I'm going to continue my advance to make space between skeleton and my friends. Yeah, we stand there ready because I know I can't get all the way up and strike.
Okay.
Super far away from us.
Skeleton's going next. This is gonna hurt. Okay. So, Skeleton is going to do some things.
From 20 hexes away?
From 9 hexes away.
No, that's still pretty far.
Yes. But ranged things are usually 10 hexes in range.
Oh, I did not know this. I thought
Um,
he had a sword.
he does have a sword. He has an axe, actually, is what he's wielding.
He's
A
gonna throw his
large
axe at
two-handed
you.
axe. No, with his other hand, he is going to... Let me see. This is my first time. Let's try this out. So, he's going to... This rune I'm using in my hand, you cannot see it, to, with his other hand, he raises an empty hand towards you, and you feel your spirit being forcefully pulled from your body.
Okay, no.
He needs to use a blue rune to give that range. Do I turn that sideways? Perfect. So he's using a blue rune just for that to reach you. Most spells by default must be within 5 feet of you, just 1 hex over. But he has to use 2 runes, and he can hit you from range. So you take 2 spiritual damage and 4 physical damage from this attack.
Now, does armor impact physical damage?
Armor impacts physical damage. Yes.
All right.
Parrying, if you want to parry the physical damage,
Use the defend action.
can, yes.
I mean, I set all of these numbers. Where did I guess it didn't save.
It should save. You don't need to click to save normally.
I just meant for the current thing for my.
Oh, if you, on the left of each thing, if you click a checkbox, that means it'll count it into the current. It means it's currently relevant. So just click all of the checkboxes to the left if they are relevant. If you have things that boost your parry. This is for equipment, this is for everything.
Oh.
Oh.
And then it'll show the total in the current section at the top.
That I think I don't know. So Runa shielding Runa shielding is a +2 parry. Runa of
Yes.
reinforcement is +1 physical damage reduction on my armor.
Yep.
My sword already has parry 2, so that's parry 4.
So if you parry, you will take none of the physical damage, just 2 spiritual.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so we have a new macro that I'm going to show all of you for taking damage. The only thing with spiritual damage is that it can go down into drain. It won't actually matter if it's just 2, in all honesty. But it is there. So
how do I do damage?
I'm putting that here, and I'm copy-pasting it into Discord. So
yeah, I somehow
So
parry spirit grab.
So I put at the very end stun/death/wounds 2. Those are where you want your wounds to end up. So these are actually 3 macros, and they each have the 3 different endings with the backslashes separating. So
character
when
macros.
when you take a damage, you take a rune from your essence, and then you move it down the number of stages based on the damage dealt. It was only 2 damage dealt to you, so you will take 1 rune, and then move it down to stun, and then you will move it down.
Do I hit weird?
Nope. You'll make this macro, and the one you want to use is the one that says stun, and then we'll manually move it from there.
Okay.
So the order this track goes is stun. We then decide whether or not we're doing an easy game, medium game, or a hard game, the opposite direction.
Yep. And we
which
just
basically
figured
tells how fast we die.
the macros only work for the medium, so we're going in the middle track. You just follow the 3 gray track.
So
and
stun, it's damage 2, damage 3,
Yeah.
damage 4, and then death.
1 damage
is
goes
5
to stun.
damage away for each rune.
2 damage goes down here. 3, 4, 5. So you can take 5 damage per essence you have, basically. Then you can go down into drain as well, which only from spiritual. So that will make more sense later. For now, did the macro work?
Yeah. We're trying it now.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
So it worked. That is as if you took 1 damage, so you want to move that down to this specific section here. That is taking 2 damage.
So that X, I'm supposed to move to here?
Yep. There's only one for moving it to here. So there isn't one for this one or this one. Either way, that's just you took 2 damage. So that rune is temporarily out of the bag.
Garbage rune anyway.
That
Fine.
rune will also be what is affected by future damage. So damage you take will always affect the lowest rune in the pile, basically. This is actually good, in my opinion.
So the void rune and then this guy are supposed to be in specific places after I use them?
When you use them, you put them into up here, into in play is what this one is. So that means you've used them.
No, I used both of them. Okay.
Yep. This one up. And
Yep.
There we go.
Sick.
So that was the first thing this creature did. It can do more. The creature is then... I'm so sorry, Indigo Beard.
Then it should move up.
It isn't that... It has ranged attacks. Why would it move when it has ranged attacks?
That's fair.
Yep. Okay, can't do that. I don't think it's going to do that. Oh! Actually, it can do that. Okay, cool. Nope, literally can't. Cool. Then... Yep. It is going to do that.
I'm thinking he has a lot more powers than me. That's what I'm feeling here.
This is interesting. There we go. That is what he's doing. Cool.
So...
Amplify does not affect conditions, I think. Right? I don't think Amplify affects conditions. No, Focus doesn't affect conditions. Check it.
Focus doesn't affect conditions. Pretty sure Amplified does.
Okay, cool. So, then, I do not have how this looks. This creature will then raise its hand towards you, this one holding its axe, and you see this dark bolt of shadowy energy fly towards you as my camera loses focus. And it is going to deal you 4 more spiritual damage.
Why is it all... What is with this magic monster? Why are we fighting wolves in a cellar?
That was season 1. We skipped out on season 1.
we skipped the rats in the cellar. Yeah, we're beyond that.
You take 4 spiritual damage. And so the way
Is that another new macro?
No, this time we just manually move your thing. So you take 1, 2, 3. Well, most types of damage would keep it in death, but spiritual damage can go down to drain. 4. Drain only does not heal by itself. You have to wait an hour to get each rune back. In
So it's
addition,
impossible to heal from healing too.
yeah. In addition, you gain 2 levels of the blindness condition as this dark energy wraps itself around your face.
But I have magic armor, and it stops swords real good. Swords
is.
don't work.
Then you need to get into sword range with this thing, so hopefully it swings its sword
I'm
at you.
trying. I move so fast too.
You do.
I think, yeah.
You take level 2 of blindness. I will explain what that does. Next game, actually. That is its turn. Do we have time to finish the round, or do we want to stop here?
I think we stop here just so that we can get back into it. Yeah.
Because I get wrecked by a skeleton.
Skeleton shadow bolts, basically.
He has no honor.
No, it's an undead skeleton.
Oh, Primark, can you unlock my void rune? I can't actually move it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I just wanted to face someone in open combat.
I mean, you did. He
You
just
did.
shot
It's
shadow
just that
magic at you.
it's a different kind of open combat.
He's a coward.
Possibly getting him to use his runes to come to us might have worked there.
But if it helps, he used all of his runes, not that you know that, to attack you.
I also used all of my runes.
So, okay. So I guess we'll end things there. This was the first exchange of blows have happened.
I
First,
just realized how deadly this was.
yes, there's a reason there's a whole, thing. However, the good news is, Indigo, you have, by far, the most health.
Yes, I have the most hit points to learn these mistakes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're the guinea pig.
Yep. Okay. So that is the first fight. Good luck. This is going to be a tough fight. It is, in fact. I'll tell you about it after we're done the adventure.
Is it specifically over-leveled to take out one of you?
No, but it is semi-optional, but also based on things that happened, not really optional. It's not a random skeleton, is what I'll say. Yeah, there's a reason it's there.
No, we skipped to the end boss somehow. We just straight over the story right to the end boss.
We somehow
this is the
glitched
hardest
into
fight
the
in
end.
the whole module.
Yep, sir. Let's go with that. But okay, that is this first session of Fate of the Norns Ragnarok. You guys are just getting a taste for the true potential choice paralysis depth of combat.
I didn't have choices.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what my choices are.
Oh, my choices are move.
Oh, your choices
I don't know
are
how
the
many
runes.
times I can move.
The
Right
choices
around
are
now,
the-
my choices move.
The choices are the runes you have.
Yeah, but because none of us are really in range unless we have ranged weaponry,
I-
all of our
I-
runes are going to be
I
spent on
do.
getting there.
My two choices were generic actions. I think my void rune summoned the cloud of action combat, and I think the other one was
That's
something
actually
else.
somewhat intentional for the first round, is why you guys are where you are. To let you guys get used to the round system without having to use actions for other than moving. Most of the can. But yeah.
Yeah, and I spent the other one to move, but I think its power was like purge vulnerability. It was like another buff rune, and I figured I had enough buff runes already, but nope, I did not.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk over because 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yes, next week we will not be available. I'll just I'm going to type a message for myself, actually, in this so I remember. Can I GM whisper myself? Hold on.
Yes, you.
I'm also leaving myself a note in the chat.
How do you whisper GM test? What's the thing?
/GM space whisper.
Yes, though again, you can't heal drain.
/GM doesn't come up with
I have
anything.
a healing rune. It might work a little bit differently. It's not like an active
Oh well,
thing.
we'll figure it out.
During it's the next upkeep, I get auto healing.
But
GW.
auto
can't-
healing doesn't. If a rune is in drain, it can't get auto healed. That's what's dangerous.
This is garbage. I didn't put it in drain. I would do one thing if I sacrificed it into drain, but no, I got skeleton
The
blast.
skeleton is. Let's just say these things are not
Common damage types?
correct.
I was totally prepared to fight the big Viking man.
Yes. You are not, in fact, the most spiritual man from Wessex.
No, I am not. That
We went
man
over
died.
that. Actually, there was
Yeah.
a crisis of faith at one point, and
Exactly. Okay, we'll be back
You s-
in 2 weeks. Happy
Mhm.
Valentine's Day next week. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, well, okay.